goodness! AEW Dynamite! We got the go-home show for All in Texas on Saturday. You would think that it's on Sunday, man. What's going on there, huh? A little too much evolution on the mind over there, right? Oh, man. Lame duck show tonight, man. Not something that is going to generate the excitement for All In on Sunday. Saturday. Bunch of tag team matches. MJF doing his thing with Briscoe. Mercedes botching in the opening segment. I don't know, man. I don't know. Did you guys enjoy the show? I'm excited for Saturday, not excited for tonight's show. And we will talk creative control. Because there are people in the community that are fucking idiots. I have a lot I want to get off my chest. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the beer garden. And on this Wednesday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
Going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining us right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for July 9th, 2025. I am your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you so very much for joining us on this Wednesday evening, wherever you may be, joined by the one and the only Chi-Town Smog. Jesse, what's going on, brother?
What's up, brother? How you feel, man?
Sorry, I had you muted, bro. Let's try it again, bro.
What's up, brother? How you feel, man?
How you doing, man? What's going on over there, man?
Nah, man. Can't complain, bruh. Can't complain. I got a week to myself. The family is still out of town, brother.
Oh man.
I got to just not be. You have any idea what it feels like to just not?
No, I don't. I don't actually. No.
Man, I'm just.
You
week of not having to be a dad, not having to be anything, man.
You sliding around the house in your underwear like Tom Cruise, bro.
Underwear. What do you need underwear for?
No, never mind. I don't even want to know.
Bro,
you're letting it fly, man. Everything's just hanging out.
I mean, let it go, bro. Just let it go.
Oh my God, man. Jesus
I got
Christ.
dressed for the stream. I think we should be appreciative.
Are you wearing pants? Is what I want to know.
I'm wearing shorts. I put shorts on as far as I'm willing to go.
All right.
That's it.
We got a big weekend ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. This is the pre-show before the pre-show. I seen someone in the chat say that is absolutely correct. It's factual information. And I want to thank you guys for joining us here on the Dynamite post-show, the go-home show for All In Texas. Go big or go home. Tonight, they didn't go big, Jesse. Tonight was a very safe, middle-of-the-road show that really didn't add to the level of excitement that I want for All In, though I am still semi-intrigued about several different aspects going into Saturday afternoon. What'd you think of tonight's show, man? I thought it was a very middle-of-the-road, lame duck show. A lot of tag team matches, nothing to really sink our teeth into because everything's already set for Saturday.
So I agree with you on the middle-of-the-road show for, like, everything before the main event segment. So, I mean, obviously it was a completely overbooked cluster like it normally is, but I felt like it did bring a little bit of an extra level of excitement to go into the pay-per-view. I felt like the go home segment of the night was fine as far as trying to engage and bring some excitement to the pay-per-view. I enjoyed it, but the rest of the show was kind of mid, to be honest. Yeah.
Do you get a sense that Adam Page is walking out of Globe Life Field with the AEW World Championship?
Ooh, man, that's a good question, man. I'll say this much, and this is kind of why I like the go home segment of the main event for the night. I think it did leave an element of we still don't know to it. They didn't sit there and just leave, Hangman laid out dead or vice versa. It wasn't the stereotypical go home segment where you know who's gonna win. They kind of left it open in that regard. Is he gonna win? I'm gonna take a guess, but I still don't know if it's a foregone conclusion, man. But I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say Hangman pulls it off.
I don't feel that same way. I think my hopes have kind of disintegrated over the last couple of weeks. I do think that you are partially correct. I do think that AEW, Tony Khan, and his creative team, I use that word loosely, still don't know. I think you're correct in that. I think that they don't really know what they want to do yet. I think it's going to be a late game decision, just like we heard with the reports coming out of the Ospreay and Hangman match at Double or Nothing, where they wrestled in the final of the Owen. It took, maybe into the 11th hour for them to decide who they wanted to win that match. So I think something like that is absolutely happening here with Hangman and Jon Moxley. But from me to you, bro, I don't really get a sense that Hangman is going to win the championship on Saturday afternoon. I have this feeling that Jon Moxley is going to retain, whether he takes it into the next few months over the summer, or like I talked about with Solomon last night on TNT, we did a full-blown dissection of the All-In card. I'm still hung up on the Darby Allin thing, bro. I know it might be a creative idea that's outside the box and a very unpredictable one, but I think we do see Darby Allin return in the Gauntlet match, and I do think that Moxley beats Hangman, and there's going to be a whole slew of interference in that match. I think Darby cashes in the briefcase, and I think Darby wins the World Championship, eventually sending everybody home happy after that initial vision, that initial feeling of disgust after Moxley retains over Hangman. I think Darby Allin's going to be the one to save the day, and I think Sting is going to help him do it.
That is, I really like that idea.
I could, that's why I say it. I could see Tony Khan doing something like that. I mean, it would just add a whole element of excitement to it, and I think the crowd would go fucking ballistic, honestly.
Yeah, I do like the idea. If I'm left to pick a straight up winner for the match, I'm gonna pick Hangman.
Yeah, of course.
If we're gonna finish with some fuckery with like a Darby return and Darby returning at All In, really would be great. Again, no one knows what kind of condition this guy is in after climbing Mount fucking Everest.
Yeah.
We really don't know. We don't know if he's ready, not ready, close to ready. We have no idea, which leads, which helps leads into the unknown. We just don't know. I do like the X factor of Darby showing up and throwing a whole monkey wrench in the celebration. I just hope it's just not. Moxley wins, and then Darby shows up at the top of the ramp or in the rafters, and then we got to tune in the Dynamite to see what he does next. That's not enough. That's just not Darby showing up to a celebrating Moxley. It's just not enough for me. So I would not be happy with that ending. But if he somehow incorporates himself into the match and walks away with that title, I would pop for that big time.
I mean, there's just a lot of open-endedness to it. I know the direction that we were getting before he actually climbed Mount Everest was that he was going to stop at nothing to get Jon Moxley and beat Jon Moxley. The last thing that we saw with Darby was that he was thrown down a flight of stairs and we never seen him again. And I know that match, like I said, is going to have a lot of interference on Saturday. We're going to see Swerve and Ospreay and the Ops and the Death Riders and more than likely Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson in itself is a shock because we haven't seen him on television since WrestleDream. And they choked him out and they sent him packing on a gurney. And I remember that visual of Danny Garcia and Darby Allin and Hook and Private Party. That's when this whole nightmare reign started for Jon Moxley. I think Bryan coming to be the surprise save the day to stop Jon Moxley, and then Darby cashes in. I mean, that 1-2 combo, bro. I just can't get that vision out of my head. I don't know if Tony's thinking that. I don't know if that idea has been run through the creative team. I don't know, but I physically can't wrap my head around. And I said the same thing about Cody and Randy Orton when they went to the final at King of the Ring, and I saw that the tournament saw Cody on one side and Randy Orton on the other. It's like it's staring you right in the face. This to me, again, like that, is staring me right in the face. I just can't get over it. Like, Hangman's great. I don't know what Hangman does if he doesn't win the championship. I know last week we pitched Swerve going heel. I'm still very much for that too. I don't even know if that's going to be, a thing or if they even propose that idea. But I think Hangman, Swerve, and Ospreay, they could keep themselves busy for several months. Well, Darby wins the world championship, and they just go back to what their original plan was, which I do think is Darby winning the world title.
Yeah, I did think about that as well. Hangman not winning is really bad for his character right now, unless they have something big for him to do. And that, to me, it sounds like that would include Swerve, because I don't plan on Swerve challenging for the world title anytime soon.
Yeah. No, I don't even think they're beating the Bucks. I think they lose that match.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I think he's going to lose to the Bucks, and he's not challenging for the world title anytime soon. So that would mean if he's going to be feuding with Hangman, Hangman is not going to be world champion, because if he's going to be feuding with Hangman, Hangman's world champion. He can't compete. So I think that has to all play into each other. So Hangman doesn't walk away, feuds with Swerve. But then I just really hope we don't walk away with Moxley holding that title after All In. That would be the worst case scenario as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, that would be awful. I don't think AEW recovers from that, honestly. No. If they have Moxley walk out of Globe Life Field with the championship and Darby is still the plan, and they wait on Darby for All Out or WrestleDream, being that they may go to Seattle or Tacoma, that's something the company would not recover from, bro. It's over after that.
No, that'd be the worst decision ever. Now, I don't see I don't see Bryan Danielson and Darby returning on the same night. So who returns?
I absolutely see them both returning.
You think so?
I think there's going to be a whole slew of returns, bro. I think Tony's going to mask this show in returns to make it even a bigger deal. Yeah.
You think so? I know we did Bryan and Adam Cole debut in the same day, but that was just, I mean, COVID and everything else. And they had to rush it. Why would you bring them both back at the same time?
Well, I don't think anybody really expects Bryan to wrestle, A, maybe ever again, or B, a very, very light schedule. I'm talking about maybe a match or two a year if he's even able to. So having him return,
wrestles again.
Having him return is not that big of a deal to me. No.
You don't think it's? I thought it'd be a huge deal.
Yeah.
We know he's done full time, but I'm pretty confident that we have not seen our final Bryan Danielson.
No, I don't think so. I think he wrestles again. But yeah, I don't get a sense that Hangman is winning the championship. Listen, I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Honestly, if Hangman wins the championship, this is something I've been calling since last All In, where I thought that it should have been him and Swerve in the main event, and we got Swerve and Bryan in the main event. So if Hangman wins, I'm not going to complain because it does the one thing that I think everybody wants to be done, and that is end the reign of Jon Moxley. I don't give a fuck who does it. So as long as it happens, but I just don't get a sense that he is winning on Saturday. I do think that I am sticking with my guns on that, and Darby is going to win the Gauntlet and cash in that same night. The Gauntlet could go any which way too. I know we talked about it last night. MJF has a good opportunity to win the Gauntlet. I'd love to see him as the world champion again. I think he's still the ace of the company. We have Eddie Kingston looming. I think Jason said that he heard something about Eddie Kingston, or he has the impression that Eddie Kingston might be closer to a return than people realize. He could be a surprise in the Gauntlet. He's got history with Jon Moxley. So, I mean, there's a couple of different ways to go. And I know with a company that isn't really all that creative, they do have several options on the table, Jesse. So it should be a fun time if you're creative in AEW. I just hope that they make the right decisions. And, you know, I say that hoping that they do. I just don't have a lot of faith in that they will make those right decisions.
We shall see. I'm paying attention to them tagging this pay-per-view as their biggest show of the year. I know it was a little bit of a talking point on what was AEW's WrestleMania. So it could be this. Is it All Out? Who knows? But I am hearing them tag this as their biggest event of the year. So I'm expecting something big to happen and not just this person wins. Ladies and gentlemen, good night. We'll see you on Wednesday. That's not good enough.
No. We will, we will definitely get into what else is happening going into All In. What else happened on tonight's show, Jesse, outside of the go home segment between Moxley and Page? Anything else that stuck out to you tonight as far as a last ditch effort for the build to All In Saturday?
Oh, we got the winner, man. The show kicked off with Miss Mercedes, Frank the Attorney Mone, and Timeless Tony Storm. Man, they had a nice little segment. It
didn't hit the way that you expected it to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad. It was I don't know. It just didn't jump off the page to me. It's the best way for me to put it.
This is their last encounter.
Yeah.
I probably would have liked to have seen a little bit more heat there. A little bit more, and from both women, a little bit more anger, a little bit more and maybe from Mercedes because she wants to hold all of the titles and she feels this is her one challenge. Maybe a little bit more desperation from Mercedes. She is the heel. She's not a cowardly heel. So a little bit of a flaw from her in regards to Tony Storm would have helped. And I think a little bit of insecurity, a little bit of desperation of needing to validate herself with this title would have helped. I mean, just obsessed with having to do it. I'm just spitballing here, like of things that maybe would have helped the segment, give it a little bit more heat. So like I said, it was fine, but I felt like they could have brought a little bit more though.
Yeah, it didn't really hit. Their words didn't really hit to me. I know they used a lot of expletives tonight, and that in itself felt forced. You know, Mercedes wants to come out there and parade around with her fucking 16 titles, and nobody really is interested in that. It's all about the one championship that she should ultimately want more so than any of the other titles that she has. And she said tonight to Toni Storm that she's walked through hell and back to get to where she is today. I don't know what that means. I wish she would have elaborated on that because, to me, when she says things like that, I don't believe her without an explanation. What gives you the right to say that and then not follow up with an explanation and then you want me to invest in what you're saying? Like what does that mean? Does that mean
exactly have you went through?
Exactly. In AEW, you've gone through nothing. You're 27-0. So you've walked through fucking heavens and the clouds. You haven't walked through hell.
You got every title.
You got every fucking title. So you can't be walking through hell and back to get this title shot when you're the queen bee in that division. So I don't believe a fucking word she said. Now, if she elaborated on where she was before she joined AEW and explained that she didn't have what she had now there, I would have been a little bit more uppity. My ears would have been perked a little bit to listen to what she had to say in regards to what she said there. So I just can't buy into what she's selling me right now. Toni Storm had a much better promo. And I do think in general, Tony's a much better promo than Mercedes. Mercedes does not come off as genuine. And that's the problem. A lot of people aren't going to resonate with that. And a lot of people are going to hate on her because her character work is not where it needs to be as compared to who she's wrestling on Saturday afternoon. And that's the whole point of this. And if she wins, Jesse, again, we've discussed this so much I can fucking puke. If she wins, she's still the TBS champion. She's holding the AEW World Championship. It's going to lockjaw the division. And then Toni Storm, if she wins, why does she need that? I know there are people out there saying that this may end up in a Toni Storm win and this should result in a Toni Storm win. That's great. But what did you do at that point? You gave a win over Mercedes to Toni Storm, who's probably the second biggest female in the entire company and probably top 3 in the industry. What the fuck does that do for Toni Storm? Where you could have given it to Chris Statlander or Willow Nightingale or Megan Bayne or someone else that you deem the next in line after Mercedes and Toni Storm. They didn't do that. So they have basically backed themselves up against a wall, and there's no decision here that's a right one.
Yeah, I don't know if I feel like it's a wall just because giving that aura to Toni Storm can go ahead and continue said aura without leaving it on Mercedes to continue to go on. That person can beat Toni Storm. Well, who'd they beat? They beat Toni Storm. So what? They beat the fucking champion. They beat the one who beat Mercedes. Beating Toni Storm after she beat Mercedes does come with value. It's not like it's wasted and it's gone now and there's nothing to do with it. They didn't drop it to someone who's leaving the company tomorrow. I mean, it's still there. You have to beat her at some point. And you have to decide who's going to beat her. I don't have enough faith in them to pick someone else, i.e. a Chris Statlander, who beat Jade Cargill, and they did nothing with that.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to bury or just shove to the side Toni Storm. So if they go ahead and have her beat her, we know Toni Storm's going to remain on top in whatever it is that she does. They can give it to someone else and then just kind of forget about them like they do with most of the women that they start to push, then they stop anyway. I feel like it's in safer hands as far as the fans are concerned in Toni Storm than them trying to, I get what you're saying, and giving it to a young up-and-comer, a Megan Bayne. So I'm like, I get that, but what's to stop them from then stopping that push, and then it's completely wasted altogether? You can't waste it in Toni Storm. You can waste it in the Chris Statlander. They have wasted something like that in the Chris Statlander. What's to stop them from doing it again?
I know, there's no trust there. Yeah, you're correct. But you may have struck on something here because that may be the answer that a lot of people are overlooking. A lot of people tend to go with, Mercedes is going to win because she's been basically indestructible. And Toni Storm, a lot of people are going with Toni to win over Mercedes in the discussion as well because nothing else makes sense because Mercedes is the TBS champion. If that is the way, and they absorb Mercedes' undefeated streak through Toni Storm, and then Toni drops it to someone else after the fact, that may be the keys to the kingdom here. And then Mercedes, on the flip side, could start a brand new story because she would still be the TBS champion. And she, I don't know if she'll fucking devolve into just some psychotic character where the TBS championship means everything to her and she's going to do whatever she can to hold on to it, because they are coming dangerously close to her breaking Jade Cargill's record for the longest reigning TBS champion ever. Maybe that's the story for her if she does lose coming out of All In on Saturday.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. How close are we? Anybody do that math?
October is the day. I don't know what week in October, but Jade's, I believe, is 508 days. October is the month for her to break the record.
So now the question is, how much does Tony Khan hate Jade Cargill?
I would say he won't admit it, but I think he wants to end that record.
I feel like she did business the correct way.
She did.
If you start punishing people who leave after doing business the correct way, what kind of precedents are you setting for the rest of your fucking locker room?
That's a good point. I mean, Ricky Starks today, he went on to say that he's never going to have anybody step in the way of friendship with him and somebody else and people important to him. Ricky Starks went on Chris Van Vliet's podcast and said, I don't really know why I was sat at home. My mental health declined. I just wanted an answer and I didn't get one. So these people are, it's very difficult to say that Tony does the right thing all the time. Meanwhile, Jade reportedly went out the right way, like you said. So why would he want to do that to her? Like he left the door open for her to even come back if she wanted. So
Yep.
I guess feelings change over a couple of years, bro. What could you
up.
say?
Cody did business the correct way.
He did.
I mean, you can't, bro. He is gonna have to put these personal feelings to the side. I understand if he's got beef with someone who did some shady shit. Maybe they did some shady shit behind the scenes. Maybe they were contract tampering and knew it and didn't say anything. Something we don't know about. I don't know. But you can't have people leave your company doing business the right way and then you start treating them like shit. You start treating their legacy like shit. You start treating their friends like shit. You can't do that when you still have a whole roster that is still friends with plenty of people on the other side. These men and women are all fucking friends. No one is beefing but you and Triple H. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Everybody else loves each other. It's a goddamn family, bro. They come up through this business together without promoters, and they will continue in this business without promoters if they have to. Don't try to, I mean, Ricky, I heard about the Ricky Starks thing, and that's kind of sad, man. I would never try to separate someone who's trying to be a good friend. I understand you're not happy that it got caught on camera, that he was backstage at WrestleMania. That's no reason for you to treat the man like shit. That's no reason for you to have the man go into a fucking depression and question his whole livelihood and his... It's not worth all of that, man. You guys are both here to run a business and make some money. The fans love this man. Put him on television. This is bullshit. He's going to leave eventually, and the shit that you're pulling is just going to ensure that no one wants to come work for you because this is how you act when you don't get your fucking way.
Factual information. Yeah, there's nothing really more to add to that. It was perfectly stated. Guys, we're going to get into the rest of the show tonight. It may get a little spicy tonight. I gave Jesse the itinerary of things that we're going to talk about, some of which he doesn't know because he wanted to be genuinely surprised and give you an in real time reaction. But we will talk creative control because the journalists, we got John Alba, we got Sean Ross Sapp, we got fucking content creators in the community that are blindly regurgitating everything that Tony Khan said, acting as if Tony Khan isn't already a habitual liar. So we will go over some of the things that he said in the journalist media junket that he held yesterday afternoon. We got some quotes. He also said something completely ridiculous about Britt Baker that Jesse doesn't know of. And I can't wait to get his reaction on that because it is a sports analogy. And I think this one's going to flip Jesse to a point where it may actually anger him as well. So stay tuned for that. But I want to thank you guys very much for joining us right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show, the go-home show for All in Texas on Saturday afternoon. I will be live. Jesse will be here with me on Saturday night, and he will be doing a live reactions during the show. Correct, Jesse?
That is absolutely correct. So we're going to sit down and watch the show live. If you want my real-time reactions to All In, I will be streaming it on my channel, so please join.
It's going to be a long day, bro. It's going to be a long day. We got that, which apparently is going to be near 5 hours long. That was
when is it starting?
3 p.m. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. for you.
Why is it starting so fucking early?
Because Goldberg is retiring on Saturday night. Saturday night's main event taking place. Yes. So I have to watch commercial main event on Saturday and then talk about that Sunday.
Look, I'm not gonna fucking complain. You know why? Because I'm not gonna be up to 4 o'clock in the morning covering AEW.
There you go.
So,
look at the positives, bro. There you go.
Thank you. I'll take it. Goldberg did something to help me. God damn it.
There you go. There you go, man. Looking at the bright side of things over here, man. I like it. So that is the itinerary for Saturday. So join us. I do have my all-in lucha mask, and one of the mask goals will be fulfilled on Saturday. So yours truly will be wearing a lucha mask on Saturday during the stream. So look forward to that. Should be a good time.
Hey.
Yeah.
Putting you on the spot, real time.
Yeah.
What are you doing tomorrow? Want to do previews and predictions for All In?
I might not be available tomorrow.
No.
Yeah. You could do that yourself.
All right.
Just let me know and I'll tweet it out.
All right.
So yeah, that's the plan for Saturday. We'll definitely have fun this weekend. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, man. We got 482 likes. Supposedly, Jesse told me something off stream before we started tonight. We are guaranteed a collision corner. Is that correct, sir?
Yes. Through my live stream tonight, the participation was through the roof, and I put it out there because me and JD both listened to the feedback. He told me he got some feedback about last week's Collision Corner. He informed me about it, and we listened to the audience, and we want to make Collision Corner more accessible. Trying to reach 1,000 thumbs up was a little bit rough on you guys.
Especially with the product being so cold right now, yes.
Yes, very much so. So through donations and super chats, I put it out there if it reached the stream goal that no matter what, we would get Collision Corner tonight, and that is what we are getting. So through everything we put you guys last week through trying to reach the thumbs up goal, don't worry about it. It's covered. We will be getting Collision Corner tonight after we get done covering Dynamite, guaranteed.
There you go. That doesn't stop you guys from hitting the thumbs up, though. So I'm going to give you guys a very modest goal tonight.
Yes.
750 likes. You guys are already 70% of the way there.
Come on, guys. Hit that goal. Don't make me an asshole here for guaranteeing Collision Corner, and you guys don't come through with the thumbs up anymore. Come on.
Hit that thumbs up. 750 likes is the goal tonight. Any more would be just the frosting on the cake. So thank you guys very much. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Follow Jesse at Chi-Town Smark. He's probably not even on there as much as I am. I know that for a fact, but go follow him anyway. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go check out all the other content on the channel. There's some content going up on the second channel as well. And super chats are open. Get them on in. We will hang out at the end of the show. It's the best way to support me and the channel right here on the Dynamite post for this Wednesday. Now, I want to start with some of the all-in news before we get into the show. This is probably the more interesting part of the stream tonight. We got some all-in news here, and we'll start with this. Very, very small. The runtime for All In Texas, apparently, according to Fightful Select.
Nope.
What happened? What happened?
Mega bomb in the chat, bro.
Oh my goodness, what happened here? Oh my goodness. It is what it is, man. This guy shows up every single time. Woo. And oh my goodness.
Look at that.
My guy Havili coming in with a $100 bomb all the way from Brisbane, Australia. It's Thursday, the 10th of July, 2025. What's up, JD and Jesse? Another round of applause, my guy Havili.
That's what's up, bro.
Anybody got a problem with Havili, man?
And of course, if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.
Love you, Havili. Thank you for showing up, brother. Appreciate you. Fucking rocking and rolling down there in Brisbane, man. Oh, my goodness.
It is currently about 1 in the afternoon in Australia. Fun
There,
fact.
there you go. Look at that.
Look at that, man.
So, yeah, the runtime for All In is, according to Sean Ross Sapp, All In Texas is scheduled to finish well before Saturday night's main event airs at 8 p.m., with the main card for All In set to be 3 p.m. The report suggests a total show length of under 5 hours. Now, I don't know. I think this is worded very poorly. And if Sapp wrote this himself, I don't know what happened here. If someone else wrote this, they should have a dock and pay for sure. Every AEW pay-per-view nears almost 5 hours in length. So I don't know what they're saying. The show length is going to be under 5 hours. Why are we expressing as if this is new information? Every pay-per-view, Jesse, goes at least 4.5 hours, correct?
Roughly, around there. I mean, how did they present it? I mean, is it presented as news? I mean,
No. The report also states that All In will feature fewer matches than the 23 and 24 versions. That's always a good thing.
that is a very good thing.
But, you know, Omega and Okada are probably going to get fucking 45 minutes.
2.5 hours right there. Half the show was going to be that match alone.
Yeah, so if you guys
And
are looking...
7 years after that last match, it won't be full of spots. It'll be full of rest holds.
No. Yeah, so that's it's going to be a long night. That's all I got to say, folks. It's going to be a long night. Expect the show to go at least till 8 o'clock. That's my prediction there. Right before Saturday night's main event starts, that's when All In will end. The media call. This was a disaster of a media call. A lot of embarrassing moments. The journalists and the dirt sheets made themselves look like a bunch of fucking geeks on Tuesday afternoon. And I will start with this. This was one of the more hilarious portions of the media call. And this is something that Jesse hasn't been privy to yet, so his reaction is going to be genuine. He addressed Britt Baker. Now, the news was last week where it was reported by Bodyslam.net that Britt Baker is looking for a way out of her AEW contract and looking to leave AEW, which should come to no surprise to anybody listening to us. We have made this speculation for weeks. I mean, this is just not a new thing. This has just been something. I mean, she's been off TV since when? November? So you would imagine that the woman is very much wanting to do something, and she does not want to be there. Or if she does show up tomorrow, I also wouldn't be surprised seeing that the news has kind of been making the round. She could very well be in the Gauntlet match tomorrow, or on Saturday, rather, but we don't really know for sure. But Tony Khan he commented on the status of Britt Baker during the All In media call, addressing her long absence from the company and their programming. Tony Khan shut down any rumors that she was looking to leave the promotion. I've never had a conversation about Britt departing AEW. I like Britt Baker a lot, said Tony Khan. He said the same thing about Ricky Starks and everybody else that was brought to his attention during these media junkets. So that's not new information. He then, Jesse, used a sports team analogy to explain why certain talented wrestlers like Britt Baker may not be featured on television at all times. On a baseball team, you use 9 players at a time, he says. In the NFL, you can put 11 in the game at a time. Pro wrestling is unique because you can use a different number of people, but there is still only so many slots to fit into the show. We haven't used everybody, and there are some really talented people on our bench that we can call in that would be a great part of the show. I absolutely think that applies to a number of women and men that are not necessarily being featured right now. He also stated that his focus in 2025 has been a tight, focused show and not trying to force everyone every week. He left the door open for Baker's return when the time is right. He also said this: Britt is a great example of somebody that is very talented, and we could utilize in AEW with the right situation and at the right time. Just like in pro sports, when you have someone really talented that isn't necessarily starting every game at that point, doesn't mean that they won't be starting again in the future. It makes sense for me to look at the AEW roster like a sports team and trying to manage the minutes and rotation. Now, I look at this and I absolutely laugh because the way that I interpret it is Britt was once, Jesse, a quarterback for the women's division. And then all of a sudden, Tony had another draft pick or a number one draft pick who he signed to the company, and that starting quarterback position went to somebody else. But for what she did for the company, you know, for her to be benched for 8 to 9 months as a former starting quarterback in that women's division, it is a glaring absence on their television program. This is not a fucking sport in which, you know, you could make that analogy. In my personal opinion, this is a fucking television show. I get that he wants to tighten the ship, but if you can find TV spots for AR Fox every fucking week, and you can find TV spots for the Gates of Agony or Vanilla Baby every week, why isn't he finding a role for Britt Baker on the show? That's what I don't really grasp here. What do you make of that analogy, Jesse? Does that sound ridiculous to you?
It sounds, it absolutely sounds like a fabricated response to try to blanket cover why so many different people are not featured on TV when they should be. You don't. All right. So I understand the analogy he's trying to make, but no professional team benches their best players. It just doesn't happen. If anything, you can rotate them. And to be honest with you, if he would have implemented something that I pitched to AEW back when they first started, and that is implementing a rotating roster to keep your roster fresher and healthier, so that they would all get a rolling few weeks off every year. But that's not what he does. And we all know that's not what he does. She's not on TV for personal reasons, whether the reasons are hers or his or theirs together, whatever the case may be. Look, I understand that if there's something going on backstage and it's not to be made public, I get that. As much as I would love to have all of the answers and all the information that goes on because I'm a fan, I get that we are not going to always get that. But my God, you got to do a better job at lying to us than this. This is not even believable. So I would rather hear, we're not going to talk about that right now, or we'll talk about that at a later time, or Britt Baker will be back when Britt Baker is ready to come back, or whatever the fucking case may be. But I can smell bullshit a mile away, and that's complete bullshit. There is a reason behind it. If you just tell me, hey, there is some issues that me and Britt are working out, and as soon as we can get them worked out, she'll be back on TV. You know, as a grown man, I can appreciate that. You know, okay. Look, shit happens backstage, man. I mean, creative, money. You know, what does Ross say? Is a cash and creative is the two, you know what I'm saying? I mean, whatever the case may be, I understand business happens backstage, and not all that business needs to be public. We're adults. Hey, me and Britt got some stuff to work out, and we'll work it out. And when we do, you guys will be the first to know. Now let's talk about the pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, we get that you're in your feelings about some of these guys and some of these women. We get that. And if that's not the case, then shame on you, because that's how we all feel. We all feel like that you benched a Ricky Starks, that you benched a Britt Baker, that you benched a Wardlow. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we don't understand why you did. Maybe there's professional reasons behind it. Maybe they aren't. We don't know. But lying is not the best way to go about it. I'm sorry. I mean, I would rather you avoid than lie. I would rather you just flat out say, I'm not going to talk about Britt Baker tonight. You know what I'm saying? Will we ever talk about Britt Baker again? Absolutely. You know, to answer your question, you know, we love Britt Baker here in AEW and we want to do business. But for right now, we're here to talk about All In. I'll take that. Is it a cop-out? A little bit. But I'll take that over a flat-out lie. I don't believe any fucking thing you said.
Well, first of all, I mean, he's explaining AEW in a football sense. I mean, football has how many weeks of television? 17, 18 weeks of television minus the playoffs? Man, you're comparing a fucking 52-week schedule, which is creative because you are in charge of the show. Everything dictated to us is based on who you want on the show, what you want the show to look like, how you want the show to feel, and who you want on television. You can't make that analogy, 17 weeks compared to 52 weeks. What that tells me is that you benched her because you want her off television for 8 or 9 months. That's the only reason you said that. Because you're a football owner and you're comparing sport to sport. You can't make that analogy in this case. It's absolutely mental that he did. Mental.
No, that doesn't math. That doesn't equate. That's not the same thing. It's so far apart. It's ridiculous. Not even apples and oranges. I mean, it's fucking cars and pencils. I mean, it's so far off the radar. It doesn't make any fucking sense. If you don't want to tell us why you're not putting her on television, just fucking tell us that you are not going to tell us why you're not putting her on television. I'd rather take that than the flat out lie. I mean, you invite the media there. I'm assuming that you allow them to ask whatever questions they have. So if you're prepared for that, be prepared for it. You must know that Britt Baker's been in the news all week.
Of course he knows
these things. So I mean, you must have a better prepared answer than this. That's just a flat out lie. I don't believe in lying to your audience. I would rather you just say we're not gonna talk about it. Coming out and just I see some of these posts he's putting out there on social media. I'm like, bro, that's just a lie. That's just a flat out lie.
You know, Jesse, he was asked about the Jon Moxley lawsuit with that cameraman that was shoved down, that didn't know Moxley was going to shove him down. And Tony Khan's response to that was, I'm sorry, I can't answer that right now. That's all he had to say.
That's it.
That's all he had to say. I'm sorry, I can't comment on Britt Baker. We're working through it. I'd like to have her back on television. Next question, please. That's it.
Yeah. Hey, look, I know she's been in the news. We all want to get Britt Baker back. Same for me. Britt and I have some things to work out. When we get them worked out, we'll let you guys know. Next just don't answer it, man. That is way, way better than sitting there and telling us something that just feels like a flat out lie. Even if that was the absolute truth, I'd rather you just say, we're not going to talk about it, because that truth just sounds like a fucking lie.
He used the benching of the quarterback analogy. It's like saying she's on the bench means she's, to me, interchangeable. So it's like, you completely ignore her star power and what she brought to AEW as the first female signed to the company, man. If you're truly managing minutes and you want to tighten the fucking show up, why are people less talented with less star power getting on television over Britt Baker? You don't want her there. If you did want her there, you would factor her star power and her ability as a performer into the show. You would put her into the show and use her for what she's worth. Right now, you're telling me and everybody else that you don't find Britt Baker to be worth anything right now in 2025. So you made this analogy and you made yourself look more stupid. That's the way I see it.
Look at this. Britt Baker is a pillar.
Yeah.
Where are your pillars in 2025? We got MJF. MJF is still here, right? We got what, Darby?
We'll see him on Saturday, yeah.
Jungle Boy?
Non-existent. I think we see him on Saturday, too.
And we got Britt Baker.
Non-existent. 9 months off television.
I don't think your pillars are in a good spot right now. MJF should be higher up on the card. But I understand why he's not at the current moment. I understand that. And everybody can't all be on top at the same time. I'm just saying MJF has not felt like MJF in a very long time. All right? Darby's went out climbing mountains. I'm glad he's safe. I'm glad he's okay. Need him back on TV very soon. Jungle Boy's had his goddamn issues, man. But this character redo and getting back on TV after the London incident, it's been good, but that just went away. I don't understand why that's not happening. Britt Baker, we just talked about that. If your pillars are all falling apart, then your company is coming down. I mean, just by definition of what a pillar does. I mean, what happened to the core of your fan base? What happened to the core of the people that your fan base loved when you started your company? Did you give up on them? Did you give up on Britt Baker? What happened?
I don't know. He gave up on her for sure. That's the gist of it. He gave up on her. His sports team analogy fails. And it fails because it doesn't factor into what he said. Gameplay rotation. This is not a 17-week fucking season. The reason that Britt's off TV is because he wants her off television, and all of the decisions are 100% on AEW. If they wanted her on TV, she'd be on TV tonight.
Now look, I get that there has been locker room drama with Britt Baker, and I caught your video where you spoke on it, and we both come here and then we admit that we have, chopped it up with her about a couple of things. We straightened out some errors. We've grown to just be cordial with each other and everything like that.
Yes, there was a big lesson learned from that. We all apologize to each other. Yes.
Yes. But let's not forget the fact that shit has happened. Whether it was true or not true, we weren't there. We don't fucking know. What we do know is shit has happened in the back that has involved Britt Baker on more than one instance. Is this the reason why she's not on TV? Is it a different reason why she's not on TV? Did she say something to you? That's what we're all thinking. So when you start telling us about these sports analogies that makes no sense, then we're left to just believe that there just must be something with what we're thinking, because the shit you're feeding us is complete crap. So we're not buying that. What is really going on is what we want to know. If you can't tell us that, which I understand, then just tell us, hey, we'll get to Britt Baker when we get to Britt Baker. For right now, we're going to talk about All In. I'm not going to talk about Britt Baker right now. But if you want something, we love Britt Baker. She'll be back on TV as soon as we can get her back on TV.
That's all he needed to do. So that was addressed on the media call in regards to Britt Baker. Other things that he mentioned, get this. I didn't tell Jesse this one either. The Unified Championship, which is going to be on the line with Omega and Okada on Saturday. Tony Khan said that the international and continental titles are not being retired, that they are being unified. Now, he created a new belt, which in my from what I see and from what Jesse sees, I'm sure, we have this one title and the other two titles are going away because they just picture them kind of fusing together and you get this new unified championship. That means that two titles are going away and we're going to operate with the new unified title, correct? That's the way that I see it. The lineage, apparently, of both championships will still be intact and be represented by the unified title. So the lineage of both of these championships will remain. How that makes sense, I don't know, because neither one of them will be defended if you're going to be carrying around the unified championship. The Continental Classic will be back with details of what will be on the line in that tournament still to come. I hope that he makes the right decision there and changes the tournament for this year heading into the winter months. The thing is, Jesse, with this unified title, Tony also said in the same media call that we could very well see the winner of Omega and Okada carry around the Continental title, the International Championship, and the Unified Championship. 3 championships, bro. So we're going back to what Eddie Kingston did, carrying around all 3 championships when he won the first Continental Classic. What is the purpose of creating a new championship only for then the winner of this match between Omega and Okada to still carry around the championships that you are fusing into this one championship? Why make a new championship? So we could see all 3 titles still on TV, Jesse, held by Okada and Omega.
Look, man.
Oh, man.
Why? What? Why did you... Okay, let's start here. Why did you make a 3rd title then?
That's what I said. Why are you creating a new championship if you're only going to have them both carry around all 3 championships?
I'm not even going to get into what you should have done with these 2 titles when you merged them. I'm not going to get into that right now. For right now, why did you make a 3rd one? Why have them walk around carrying 3 titles? If they're still independent titles, then let the winner just carry around 2. Why did he make a 3rd?
I don't know. He loves wasting money, bro.
It's not even about the money. If he wants to waste money buying every last single wrestler their own goddamn belt, whatever. The point is, you're making the belts that you make worthless. So what is the unified title representing if there's still independent titles? How do you lose one of the three? If you lose one, what happens to the unified title? Does it just go away until they're reunified again? How do you write for this going forward? Did anybody think about this?
No, they didn't think about this at all.
You just could have. This was your chance. This was your out to get. Now I'm going to talk about what you should have done with the titles. This is your chance to get rid of those two goddamn titles and make them into one going forward. Simpler, easier on you trying to book this title going forward. Easy, done. We can all care about this title. This is the title that Kenny and Okada brought together. It's the unified title. The other two are gone. It's just that one. Fine. Great. We can move on with that. But now you can have these guys carrying around three titles and they can defend one. Do they lose one? Do they lose all three when they lose? How do you win one without the other?
Bro, we're gonna have one of these guys carry around three titles, and Mercedes is gonna be carrying around 7 titles after Saturday, bro.
I mean, what the fuck are we doing?
Oh man, this is awful, bro. It
so
is
if you
so
become
bad.
the unified champion and you're carrying around 3 goddamn titles, and then you might become a tag champion or trios champion. Now you're automatically carrying 4. What are we doing here? As a wrestling fan, and you watching wrestling with a friend of yours who's visiting for the night, how do you explain to them why this fucking guy is carrying around these 3 fucking titles? I already don't know how to explain why Mercedes is carrying around the 6 that she's carrying. But how do you explain Kenny and Okada carrying around 3 goddamn titles that all mean the same thing, basically?
I don't know. All he needed to do was get rid of the Continental Championship. I said this last night with Jason on TNT. Get rid of the Continental Championship. It's fucking worthless. I mean, there's been 2 champions, Eddie Kingston and Okada, and that's it. The only reason why Okada was even gifted this championship and made champion was because Tony wanted this match at All In between Omega and Okada. That's it. Get rid of it. The lineage of the International Championship is a lot more, in this case, prestigious. I would keep that. Keep that the title going forward. Get rid of the Continental Championship. Have one championship. The International Championship, have it operate as your Intercontinental Championship, just like WWE and New Japan have their Intercontinental Championships, whatever. And then the Continental Classic happens, and the winner of that tournament, because I always found it to be ridiculous that the champion takes their belt into the tournament and then loses a match here and loses a match there, and God forbid he doesn't make the finals. What happens to the championship? I mean, it's just fucking convoluted for no reason. The Continental Championship should be for a shot at the world title, the AEW world title, because if you're wrestling 4 straight weeks of a round-robin tournament, your goal at the end of the tournament should be a world title, not the fucking Continental title, a world championship at Revolution. That's it. That's it. And you have 2 instances all year where you get championship matches through 2 signature AEW events. The Continental title will give you a world title match at Revolution. And the Gauntlet match, which should obviously only take place at All In, get you a championship match over the course of the next 12 months. That's it. That's it. That's all you need to do. You don't need to overextend your creative past that. Otherwise, it's too much.
You don't need 3 goddamn titles. You have a TNT title around the waist of Adam Cole. You can use 1 more mid-card title. Whatever the fuck you're doing with these 3, it just needs to be 1. And then in the event that you have some form of a brand split, which I recommend that you start working on, 1 title can be on 1 show, other title can be on the other fucking show. The champion floats. We're done here. The trios champions can be on 1 show, and the tag champs can be on another show. And get rid of this fucking idea of women's tag team titles, please. We don't need those.
No, that's coming. That's coming, bro. They're already made, so I know they're coming eventually.
Too many titles.
Yeah, so that, imagine, they're going to keep these 3 titles and they add another set of titles. Oh, my goodness.
Too many titles. Mercedes is still carrying around the Owen belt. That belt hasn't been carried by anybody who's won it for more than one damn night. They'll carry it the next night after they won it at the pay-per-view, and then it goes home and sits on their mantle. Mercedes is still carrying this shit around, which is fine, I guess. That's her whole gimmick. She hoards belts. What the fuck ever. But you have too many titles on your show. The more titles you have, the less that they mean. We're not even looking at your ROH titles. Bandito is still the fucking ROH champion, apparently, for some goddamn reason.
Bandito can find himself on Dynamite as the world champion, but the women's world champion can't be found anywhere. Where is she? I don't know.
I know where she is. I'll tell you later on in the show.
Okay.
So, but I mean, this is simple. This is simple mathematics, bro. Everybody will tell you this. Anybody with a half a brain will tell you this. The more titles that you have on your show, the less that they mean. You have an ROH TV champion. ROH does not have a TV deal. What the you have too many titles.
Oh, man.
You don't need, it doesn't make them cooler. It does. I understand you want matches to have stakes, but you just can't, every match has a title on the line. You have that many fucking titles. They don't mean as much anymore. They don't mean shit. Now I see why Moxley put his in a goddamn briefcase, because none of the titles don't even mean shit anyway.
It's crazy. It's crazy. This company is fucking just completely lost the plot. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. So yeah, that's the news there. So if you see one of these guys win on Saturday and then show up on Wednesday carrying around 3 belts, you know why. The big story coming out of the media call with the shill journalists in the community was the rumor of Mercedes and creative control. Mercedes Moné and creative control. Now, I'm going to try and remain calm here because I know I could get a little heated and a little ranty and a little boisterous, and I'm going to try my best, I promise, to remain calm here because I spent a good portion of my day coming up with scenarios where we've seen talent have creative control in the company, whether it was reported or not. So this is going to end the discussion, and Sap and everybody else that believes everything that's regurgitated out of Tony Khan's mouth. I mean, if you don't believe Tony Khan, you're a conspiracy theorist. So people like me, I know there are a lot of people like me that think Mercedes Moné has creative control. If we don't believe Tony Khan, we're a conspiracy theorist. But how do these people know that she doesn't? So they don't really understand that it works both ways. You say that I don't know, but how the fuck do you know that she doesn't have creative control? So I don't understand what the big deal is here. So she has creative control. That's the rumor. Sean Ross Sapp was the first call on this media call. I listened to the first half an hour. I couldn't listen to anymore. It's just complete fucking nauseating garbage. Sean Ross Sapp got on. The first call was him. And instead of asking about All In and asking about how big this show is and, you know, certain aspects of the show, he goes immediately and asks about creative control. And I laugh at this because I'm seeing all this unfold on social media. It's almost like you're a child and your parents are in the same room and you ask your mom, can I have so-and-so? Can I have such and such, right? Can I have ice cream before dinner? And your mother says, no, eat your dinner and then you'll have ice cream. But then you go to your dad and your dad says, sure, son, you can have ice cream. I don't give a shit what you do. Go do what you want, defying your mother and what she wants. So Sapp was acting like the little baby here, and he went to Tony to go get quote-unquote validation for what he thinks is right. Meanwhile, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. So he used this time that other people should be getting to ask him about creative control just to prove that he was right. How fucking pathetic is that? I laughed my ass off at this. It's fucking sad. So he asked Tony Khan about creative control. He says this: that's definitely not true at all. I have wanted Mercedes Moné in AEW, and she is a big star on the show. I really enjoy working with her backstage, which I think is common knowledge that Tony works with Mercedes. Okay? Mercedes is not booking the fucking show. I get it. That's not the point here. Tony works with Mercedes. Mercedes works with Tony. Mercedes is not booking her own fucking matches. That's not the point we're trying to make here, but I'll get to why it's still called creative control in a second. I think it's ridiculous The idea that people would think, because she's a strong wrestler on the show, that she must be the one dictating that. That is completely opposite of what happens here. Tony reiterated that he has the final say on all creative matters in AEW, a philosophy that he's had and held since the company's inception. Now, when Cody left, he made it very well known, and Jesse's documented this several times over, that letter went out where he was giving himself fucking 4 or 5 different hats, and he wanted everybody to know how many titles he had in the company, because when Cody left, it was very apparent what was going on there. So he says that he has the final say, a philosophy that he's had since the beginning of the company. He explains his approach to working with top talent like Mone. I have such a high opinion of Mercedes in particular. They are 2 of the best wrestlers on the planet, meaning Mercedes and Toni Storm. They are 2 people I meet with every single week, at least once a week, but usually multiple times a week, and hear out ideas that they might have, and they hear out ideas that I have for both of them. I'm very involved in the direction of their character personally. In this case of this match, it's something I really wanted to have in AEW for a very long time. He concluded to Sap by reinforcing his position on creative control within the company. The idea that anyone in AEW has a creative control card, and that's why anybody would get a push here because they dictate it. That's not how it works. When you have somebody of that stature, you would want to feature them and push them strongly. Now, I'll get to Mercedes in a second, but I did my due diligence here, and I came up with several different scenarios about creative control through the 5 years of AEW. Okay, and I'm going to run these by Jesse. Let's start with the most obvious of the big names, CM Punk. CM Punk had creative control. At some point, he let it be known, a fraudulent slip, that he was an EVP in the company. He had power, okay? He had major backstage influence over Collision, what the show looked like, what the show felt like, the whole tone of the show. I mean, he went to Tony and dictated what talent should and should not be on the fucking show. That is creative control. Details on Punk about his status in the company at that point were very well known. He was reportedly involved in creative decisions for Collision. He worked with FTR. He worked with guys like Jay White. He worked with Ricky Starks. He chose who he wanted to work with, and Tony never fought him on that. That's creative control. That is from Fightful, Wrestling Observer, and other multiple reports from June through August of 2023. So, Jesse, based off CM Punk, would you say CM Punk had creative control?
He's sent home the head of talent relations. You appointed someone to a management position in your company, and that motherfucker got sent home by a talent that you hired. I would say he has quite a bit of power. So if I were to believe if he had creative control, I would say he absolutely had creative control. So Mercedes was not the first person to get creative control in AEW.
There you go. We're just going to go down the line here. I'm going to start with number 2, MJF. MJF has been given significant creative freedom, particularly during his title reign and major feuds. Sean Ross Sapp himself reported that MJF personally requested to work with Mark Briscoe, and nobody combat him on that. So, I mean, creative input was told, Tony didn't say no, so he let MJF do and dictate what he wants. That is creative control. It's not in his contract, and it's not creative control like Hulk Hogan was, because that's seemingly what Sean Ross Sapp always goes back to as an excuse. It's not like Hulk Hogan. It's not contractually written down for Hulk Hogan, but MJF has creative control. Also, throughout MJF's career at AEW, he is known to write his own promos. Nobody's writing a promo for MJF. He writes his own promos. He did the bar mitzvah segment with the sing along that he did in the ring. He did the whole dance along with Jericho. The lengthy world title run that he had. He also stated in several interviews with Ariel Helwani and Barstool Sports that Tony Khan lets him say what he wants. Is Tony Khan going to tell MJF he can't do anything? No. Is Tony Khan going to tell MJF you can't do that promo? No. MJF has creative control over what he says. So that's not creative control like Hulk Hogan, but it is creative control to a point where Tony says nothing and allows MJF to do what he wants. He's controlling the narrative. He's driving the car. So, again, Jesse, I ask you, just like Punk, does MJF have creative control?
So we agree it's not like Hogan's.
No. There's different aspects of creative control. We're not. Hogan was booking the outcomes and who he wanted to go over. That's not happening here.
I don't know if. Look, I guess maybe we should probably put an official title on this creative control thing, meaning it's like absolutely in their deal.
No, it's not. None of it is in their deal. None of it.
Yeah, because I feel like some people would have some creative freedoms, like MJF writing his own promos. But creative control leads me to believe that TK comes to someone and says, "Hey, I'm booking such and such to go over you tonight for the title," and then they have the ability to say, "No, I don't want to do that. We got to come up with a different fucking ending."
Well, some people, I do firmly believe that some people in that company have that type of power. Yes.
You know, and that is what I believe the question should be, because I don't think that someone coming up with ideas and then TK approving them gives them creative control. It's an aspect of creative control. Yeah. So, I mean, I was under the impression that he works with the talent all around, everyone.
He works with all the talent? I doubt he works with all the talent.
I would hope that he has some input from everyone who, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, well, we'll put it like this. If they have an idea that they want to pitch and he says, "I like that idea, let's do it," that doesn't mean they have creative control.
It's an aspect of creative control.
I just think that they have input in what's going on. Control.
Yeah, but if
he
says,
"Well, I don't want to do that," and
bro, if he doesn't say no and lets them do whatever they want, it is creative control. That's the way. That's the way that I view it.
I don't know. I was thinking about it differently, and just in the sense of the talent just straight up putting the kibosh on shit that management wants them to do because they have creative control.
There are some talent, I believe. It's a very, very small group of people, but it might be like 3 or 4, but some talent there do have that power, yes.
Yeah. I could see a few people having it. You know, I just felt like Mercedes just had full absolute creative control.
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. I don't think anybody really has said that. My point is, creative input, the way that she has input, is creative control because it just leans too far into too much. So guys like Punk and guys like MJF, Chris Jericho is another one. I mean, he formed the Inner Circle I put here, Jericho Appreciation Society, the Wizard storyline, the Learning Tree storyline. I mean, how many weeks of television did we get with Jericho forming faction after faction after faction, putting himself around younger guys, and then having way too much TV time than anybody really wanted to see? That is a situation of creative control because Tony, if he was smart enough, would say, "Hey, man, this ain't working out. My fan base isn't really enjoying this right now. The segments aren't hitting." Say no, but he didn't. He allowed Jericho to do and say whatever he wanted and give him multiple weeks of television. That is some aspect of creative control. To me, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it could be seen that way. I just think we had different definitions of what creative control was entirely. And I was working off the assumption. Now, is Mercedes creative control going through, who was it, Jennifer Pepperman, the writer that they hired?
Mercedes creative control goes through her team and Jennifer Pepperman, and then that gets sifted off to Tony Khan. And Tony, I can tell you factually, Tony never says no to Mercedes. So if Mercedes is in charge, and I have everything written here, if Mercedes is in charge of her presentation, the way she cuts promos, her brand alignment, her match choices, which we know for a fact that she's choosing who she wants to work with, and her booking direction, that is creative control. It's not creative control to a point where it's in her contract like Hulk Hogan had it in his contract. But if you have all these different things that you are in charge of, that's not creative input. That is bordering on the line of creative control. And if Tony says no to her, then that would mean Tony has the end-all be-all, which we know is the case. But If he says, sure, go and do what you want, that is creative control. He's giving her the option to drive the car wherever she wants. She's in control of what she does. That is creative control to me.
So, like, what would be the booking process for Mercedes versus, say, Chris Statlander? Does Chris Statlander have anywhere near the freedoms that Mercedes has?
No, not at all.
Probably not.
Not at all.
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean it's just ridiculous how nobody really puts the pieces together. Adam Copeland's another one. Adam Copeland has even said before he comes into AEW, his feud with Christian Cage was personal, emotional, and story-driven, and was clearly built with fingerprints that came from WWE. He publicly stated with Sports Illustrated and Fightful that Tony Khan gave him freedom to tell the story he wanted. That is creative control. We just talked about this a couple weeks ago. Christian Cage went to Tony Khan and said, I don't want to rush the Adam Copeland storyline with FTR. I want to see the patriarchy stuff play out to its conclusion. That's control. He told Christian, sure, go ahead and do it. Let's see it play out. He's giving Christian some sort of creative control.
See, I was working on the, so like if Christian went to him and said that, then someone with creative control would mean that Tony Khan is not allowed to say no to it. Like, you have to do it because they pitched it and they have control or input. I feel like control and input are two different things.
AEW talent has more control over what they do than WWE talent. In WWE, it's creative input. Everything gets filtered through a writing team, an agent, and onto Bruce and Triple H. In AEW, like Mercedes, it gets filtered through Jennifer Pepperman, her team, and Tony Khan, and then Tony just gives her the freedom to do whatever she wants. So how is that? Yeah. How is that Mercedes not having creative control? Copeland said with Sports Illustrated in 2023, I have full input. He says, if I want to say something, I say it. If I want to wrestle someone, I pitch it. That's the freedom AEW gives you. Is Tony Khan telling Adam Copeland no? That's creative control. That is control. I have full input.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I see what you mean. That he never says no to them at all, so they're just basically booking it.
Yeah.
But I when control just means so much more to me than input. Control means that we got to go back to the drawing board because this person said no. That means we got to change it because they have control and they said no.
Tony Khan has control over who wins and who loses. That's it. Everything else is giving control. He's giving control to the talent to do what they want. Like, you love Christian, right? Do you think that Tony Khan is fucking going up to Christian Cage and helping him write promos? Christian Cage is writing all of his promos, bro. Your dad is dead, dad this, dad that. No. That's creative control, bro. He's giving Christian a level of creative control.
From the beginning of AEW's inception, everyone has said that they don't hand you scripts there.
No.
They don't hand you scripts. You have the ability to write your own promos. You do have to present them ahead of time, but, people are allowed to write their own promos. I think they offer help for people who need it, but I think everyone has the ability to say, give me the points, and I'm gonna go write my own promo. I think Brian said that. I heard of quite a few people say something to that effect, that no one is handed a script and said, repeat these words on TV, because no one can really write for you but you. You know what I'm saying? So I do think a lot of the talent do get freedom for their promos, but control. I feel like Mercedes has a different level of control.
She does. She's in that Jon Moxley, Adam Copeland fucking rarefied air, bro. Like, do you think? Here's another great analogy. In WWE, how many talents there come up with their own look and their own presentation and their own theme music and entrance style, bro? Nobody. Nobody. You always see Triple H working with people, how they should come out and where they got to stand and what their music is going to be. They give the talent everything that they feel is best, what WWE feels is best for the talent. Mercedes, she controls her look, her gear, her presentation, her theme music, her entrance style, her branding, her chosen opponents. Bro, that is creative control.
Yeah. Not telling her no.
You think Tony Khan is working with Mercedes on branding and presentation and look and the way she comes out for her entrances? Bro, she got a team to do that. Her team tells Tony, this is what we're going to do, and Tony says yes. That is creative control. What is so difficult to understand here?
Yeah.
Nobody's saying that Mercedes is booking the show and booking her segments and booking herself to win matches. That's not the case. But if you think that she doesn't have creative control, I don't want to use this to any of the people in the community, but I'm going to. Bro, you're a complete fucking idiot. They completely made themselves look fucking stupid, starting this call off with that as a question, honestly. And then everybody follows suit, like we're wrong.
Well, the fact that she went on TMZ and said that she has it doesn't help the fact at all either. I mean, it would have been simple enough to just say, I don't control anything. I mean, I work there like everyone else does. I mean, trying to label it under the guise of, oh, she was in character, it doesn't work when the community is already talking about how you have creative control and everything like that. And if it's something that, especially if that's a fire you're trying to put out, it's not a good idea to lean into it if it's not true. If it's true, it's true. Who else has their own writing? Who else has their own writer?
Nobody.
You know, who else has their own anything? I mean, she is given a lot. I mean, maybe if they want to rebrand it as something else other than creative control, they can call it whatever they want. But she seems to be doing what she wants when she wants with pretty much everything we're seeing on television.
Dave Meltzer said, and this all in with this, back in March of 2024, she has a lot of say in how she's used. She has similar freedom to what CM Punk had on Collision. You mean to tell me that this woman isn't in control of what she's doing?
That's a lot of freedom.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
He had his own show.
For the simple fact of the matter, guys, if you believe any of this garbage, and we're the conspiracy theorists, if you believe any of this garbage in the community, man, you people just need to wisen up, man. We don't say shit on here for clicks and views and to be cool. We want to make a statement. We want to make sure you guys understand what's going on. And I hate when I'm combated on this, and I'll give Jesse the floor after this. I hate being combated on something where I know I am right. I told Sap personally yesterday, you have absolutely no grounds to tell me I'm fucking wrong in this situation when I had to go through with what I went through in March at House of Glory when I had that fucking woman come into the fucking company and personally remove me from commentary. You're going to tell me she doesn't have power? Fuck out of here, bro. I fucking lived through it. You're not going to tell me fucking I'm wrong.
So the problem with what TK says comes up when he says shit like, let's go back to the Britt Baker situation. He came out and just flat out lied about this whole NFL bullshit analogy and everything like that. So that's why you don't fucking lie. Because when you say something else, when I believe it might not be true, I'm going to lean back and say, well, he lied about this and he lied about this. Why would he not lie about this? That's why honesty is very important when you're dealing with the media about certain things and shit like that. Just be fucking honest with me, because I don't believe what you said about Britt Baker. So now I'm going to sit here and second guess everything else you may have said as well. If you're just flat out honest, man, even if it makes you look bad, I understand why you bend the truth and lie at times because you're trying to save face in certain situations. But if you're honest, even when it makes you look bad, then I tend to believe you on things that I might disagree on. Like, well, he was upfront about this and this. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt in this one too. But he was lying about the Britt Baker situation. Why would he not be lying about this one?
Bro, of course he's lying about this situation. Do you honestly believe Tony is going to say anything but what he told Sap? The comparisons to WCW and AEW are fucking getting worse and worse. We all know Tony doesn't have these contracted talents with creative control in their contracts written for everybody to see there. He's not going to outwardly admit that people have creative control because he wants to remove himself from any comparisons to WCW. So he's not going to outwardly say to Sap, yeah, they have some sort of creative control, because he doesn't want those comparisons to WCW to be made. He doesn't want to continue to show everybody that he's making the same mistakes that WCW made. So he's going to hide it and pretend like he's the one in charge. That's not the case, bro. So many talents there at the top level of AEW are more in control than you realize. Tony is not in control. If he was, we wouldn't have seen the Death Rider story for fucking 10 months come to this miserable end at All In. He would have ended it when people started really bitching and moaning about it back during February and March. Point blank simple.
Yeah. She is. she definitely has more power than most in the company. I mean, I can't deny that, man. I can't speak against that. I mean, I don't feel like that she's just sitting there. She comes to work and she's given her assignment and she does it and then she goes home. I feel like she pretty much has all the input she needs to do what she wants when she wants in AEW. I have no reason to believe otherwise. You know, and that interview with TMZ is very telling.
Oh, no, but Sap says she was in character, bro. She was in character because she held the TBS title in that interview. She didn't speak like she was in character. She spoke like she was a human being. Oh, yeah, I have creative control. Me and Tony work together, weekly or whatever she said.
Yeah,
but she said the words creative control in the same sentence.
She did. I mean, he gave CM Punk creative control. Can anyone deny that?
No, nobody, and everybody knows that.
Would anyone dispute that? So if everyone agrees to that, if everyone is on board with knowing that CM Punk had creative control, why is it so impossible for Mercedes to have it then? He brought her in under the same fanfare. He's paying her a boatload of money. Why wouldn't she have it? She's been screwed over in the past. You know, if it seems to me like that would be a prerequisite to bring her in if she left her previous employer after getting screwed over by creative, being told one thing was going to happen and then got dicked over. It seems to me she would want this in her clause. Like, hey, I'm not going to get dicked over again.
No, absolutely.
It makes sense.
The WCW comparisons are why Tony is not going to outwardly admit anybody has creative control, because he's making the same mistakes that WCW is making, and he doesn't want people to know about that. Basically, that's the way it boils down to. That is
control was good.
Yeah, CM Punk genuinely, for the first couple of months when he was there, genuinely had the company's best interest at heart. I would take Punk's creative and his vision over Tony's, bro.
Creative control to an active wrestler is never, ever a good thing.
No.
Ever, fucking ever.
And
zero exceptions. Not even your beloved savior CM Punk. No wrestler should have creative control. It is just a conflict of interest, bro.
The only person that had any sort of creative control when he was there in the current landscape of pro wrestling was Brock Lesnar. That's it. Brock did and fucking said whatever he wanted. Because he knew he had Vince wrapped around his thumb, bro. That is it. Nobody, maybe Roman. Because Roman requested Heyman. Roman, they wanted him back during COVID when the Thunderdome was the thing, and they gave him whatever he wanted because they needed Roman on television. That is really it. Nobody in WWE has creative control, but there are more than a handful of people in AEW that have some sort of creative control. For Sap to go out there and say creative input is not creative control in the landscape of AEW is not only malicious, it's downright fucking lying, and he's got people paying him for fucking news, and he's lying to everybody, parading around that he's right. He's dead fucking wrong. Completely dead wrong.
Yeah, man. It does seem like she has full creative control. I mean, even if it's not specifically on paper.
Oh, John Cena has creative control too if he wanted it. He just doesn't care.
Yeah, people like John Cena don't need it. I mean, The Rock doesn't need it. Randy Orton, I'm sure, has it as well too. Certain certain veterans, I'm assuming, can do what they want when it comes to, coming out there in WWE, because they've earned that right. They've earned that respect from management and the company and shit like that. But bringing in somebody from the outside and writing creative control into their deal, like is exactly what happened with CM Punk, was a terrible idea. Even if everything stayed fresh and stayed fine and stayed above board, great, fantastic, never any issues, it's still not a good idea to have a wrestler have full creative control over other wrestlers. It is never a good idea. I don't care if it fucking works out, because the moment it doesn't, then you shouldn't have given them that power.
No. So that ends that discussion. There is a level of creative control in the company, and if you hear otherwise, you're being fucking fooled. you're being lied to. So Sapp could take that report and shove it up his fucking pee hole for all I care. The way he started that phone call is fucking pathetic. Instead of asking about AEW, he asks about Mercedes Creative Control just to prove a point to the rest of the people that know he's full of shit. That's it. So that I got that off my chest. So hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from, and we'll get into this. We're not going to spend too much time on this because really nothing happened. Timeless Toni Storm and Mercedes, final face-to-face. We discussed this a little bit in the beginning portions of this show, and I didn't really feel any more excitement than I had coming into this for this face-to-face. Tony's great. Mercedes here on the microphone, not so much. Mone was out first. She came out dressed as a cowboy because they're in Texas, and she welcomed everybody. Toni Storm came out, and she was on the big screen first before she actually made her way into the arena. And she said there's only two things that come from Texas. She's at least one of them. Mone is sick of these silly games, but she's the master, so stop hiding. Come on out, meet her face to face. And then she called Toni Storm a mark. So Storm comes on out. She power walks to the ring. She's with Luther. Mone said, how about they have a toast, as Luther handed them both champagne glasses, and Mone said cheers to herself, the future 7-belt Mone. She was insulted that champagne tasted frozen at some point. And I don't know what type of champagne. I mean, it's probably the same place they got that fucking disgusting looking steak 3 weeks ago that Mercedes was eating. Storm said, save the performative bullshit for her entrance, as week after week, Mone has treated her poorly. Speaking in catchphrases, she said the authenticity of a spray tan. She has the authenticity of a spray tan in a rainstorm, the emotional depth of a kiddie pool. Storm called Mone a fraud, while the AEW women's title has helped her find herself and questions what the hell Mone is so afraid of. Mercedes said they walk similar paths, but they are nothing alike, and she'll always be better than Toni, especially in class. Mercedes isn't afraid to leave it all on the table, being through hell and back, making the devil her bitch. She loves that fans hate her, and no one will derail the Mone train, especially Toni. This is her legacy, the one-woman revolution, the alpha and omega, and everything in between. Toni Storm said legacies don't exist. One day you'll turn to dust and die. All that matters is one moment. When you step into the ring, look into her eyes, and realize that she fears an ordinary life, but Toni fears an ordinary death. Toni sincerely believes Mone deserves all the titles in the world, but not hers. Mercedes will go down as the woman who just couldn't win the big one. That may be the hook there for why Mercedes does not win on Saturday. Mercedes said she hoped that this would have been civil, but she was wrong. She messed up initially and said that the pay-per-view was on Sunday and not on Saturday. She quickly corrected herself. The fans chanted, "You fucked up." And I joked that Mercedes probably had WWE Evolution on the brain and was thinking about that more so than her match with Toni Storm on Saturday. I joke. But they both finished their champagne. Toni swallowed her champagne. Mercedes spit hers out. She must have not liked it. And Toni capped it off by saying, eat shit, bitch, and was nearly dropped with a Mone maker. Mone quickly scurried away and danced in the ring with her cowboy hat on, holding her AEW Women's Championship high, and that was basically the way the segment came to a close. I thought the lines here from Mercedes were very cringy, Jesse. I did not buy into anything that she said. Toni is always great. She made a good point about legacies don't matter. It's about the moment. But this didn't do anything to get me any more excited than what we got. And honestly, what we got, man, is a piss-poor build, and they're just riding the coattails of this being the biggest women's match in company history, and that's all they're going into Saturday with. That's all they know how to do.
Like I said, it felt like it could have used more. They could have used... It was fine. It wasn't enough. And especially if this feud and this match is as big as it's supposed to be, this segment definitely could have used more heat.
More realism, more real emotion.
Just something, man. I would have had Toni Storm out there using the words creative control. Like, your creative control is not going to save you here, bitch. I mean, you just use some reality to help beef up the feud. I mean, maybe that would have helped something. It needs more because it's supposed to be a very important match. Just fine is not good enough in this situation.
No. We'll see on Saturday. I'm going Tony. I'm going Mercedes. Jesse is kind of leaning towards Tony Storm, correct?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Tony Storm on this one, man. I hope she pulls it off.
We'll see.
I hope she pulls it off.
We'll see. It's going to be interesting if she doesn't, because I don't know where they go.
Before we go any further, I want to share something with the chat. You know.
Yeah, go ahead.
I come here because I enjoy doing these streams with you. You know, we talk wrestling all the fucking time. You know.
Yep.
And I've gotten comfortable, you know, hanging out on Wednesday nights. I rather enjoy it. You know, I do this on my free time because I have fun here. I just got this tweet 13 minutes ago from, I'm assuming, one of your fans. Says, Chi-Town Smart, you are truly a loser. The way you're acting right now on stream, like you have no idea what the fuck creative control is, shaking my head, fucking idiot. Get AEW dick out of your ass, my God. No way you are really this stupid and you don't know what creative control is. My God, man, idiot. This person follows me, by the way.
So they didn't like that you were a little bit more, I would say, fair in the creative control argument, where I am who I am. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm a little bit more blunt than most people. And I'm very passionate about what I think is right. And I will not have someone tell me I am wrong when I know that I am making a ton of sense. So I don't really appreciate... Who's this guy's name?
Not super elite at... name's at White Girls Trap.
Yeah, you whoever you are, man, you could, you, it, she, they, I don't know what the fuck you are. You could go and unfollow me. I don't want people like that following me if that's what you're going to be saying about Jesse. He's been more fair than I have been on this show in recent weeks.
I come here to have fun talking about pro wrestling.
Yeah, but we take it too serious, bro.
And this is what I get on social media.
Yeah, they say we take things too serious, and they yell and rant about pro wrestling. Meanwhile, you get messages like that. Who's taking what too serious? You know, it's like, are you taking it too serious? Why?
I mean, they don't even know. This person does not know how to interact with a human being.
No.
Does she know that it's okay to write me a message telling me that she disagrees with my thoughts without all of this? I mean, this is not how you interact with people. If I saw you face to face, I don't care if you're a girl or not, and you said this to me, I would slap this shit out of you. Why? Because that's not how you interact with a human being. Just say you don't agree, and you know, and I should do this or should do that, and you don't agree. That's fine. What's all the fucking name calling? What the fuck is this all about?
I don't know. People are mental, bro. They're just, I don't know. They watch us and then legitimately pick apart everything that we have to say as if it's going to completely ruin their existence, bro. These people have accumulated an identity by fucking AEW, bro. That's all they know. That's all they know. When we finish here, I'm going to hop on Mario Kart for an hour and go to sleep and then wake up tomorrow, take myself to the food store and fucking, you know, roam around Stop and Shop with fucking Salamonster in my ears while I'm food shopping, man. I don't give a fuck about what happens on the show. Like, I'm done. When I'm done, I'm done. These people, man, they live and breathe everything we do. It's sad. You know? People are talking about us fucking weekly, bro. We're not talking about them.
I mean, they wake up and just start thinking, they're reading other things and then tagging me in them. And bro, what do you people do with your lives?
They live and breathe AEW.
To the point where you treat other human beings like this for having a different opinion than yours.
Yeah.
You are a piece of shit, is what you are. And I dare you. I will announce all my upcoming meet and greets and all that shit. Please say something like that to my face.
They won't, bro. Please. I never met a hater in real life.
Please, they don't exist.
I never met a fucking hater in real life, bro. For 8 years, I work for House of Glory, man. Never met a fucking hater in my entire life there, bro. Never. Nobody ever came up to me. You want to know why? Because they don't exist. They exist by faceless accounts. They tweet what they want, and then they're too coward to come up to me in public, man. They knew exactly where I was for years. I never met one person.
I mean,
never met one person.
Who does this? Oh man, I'm
the bad one,
bro. I'm 48 fucking years old. I did not grow up in this internet age. I grew up in the age where if you say things like that to a person, it was time to fight. That's just it. I mean, hey, I disagree with your take, bro. I think you were way off base. I think you should have probably said this and said that. All right. I mean, high five. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We disagree. But this is what is wrong with the wrestling community and social media. This stupid bitch right here. This is what is wrong with the wrestling fucking fan base. This is why I stay off fucking Twitter.
Good. Fuck them. I don't give a fuck what these people are or who they are or what they say. I don't really give a shit. You want to know why? Because I have the largest stream in the entire community right now with this guy. We got 2,400 people watching me. On a good week when it's not fucking dead because the show is fucking ice cold, we had upwards to 3,500 people in here. Number one fucking stream in the entire community. You want to know why? Because we're fucking real people. We're bigger than fucking Fightful and anything that they do. We're bigger than every other fucking creator in the space. You want to know why? Because people want real and honest. That's what we do. You don't like it? Tough shit. Then you get insults like this because Jesse gave his fucking real factual opinion without putting anybody down, and that's what you got to say to him?
I genuinely don't get this shit, man. Like, I don't understand when they were writing this shit, like, what kind of, I mean, just what happened to you as a human being? How do you interact with people like this? What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you okay?
No, they're not, bro.
They are not okay. You know, and I see you, Chet, you know, and like, you know, oh, ignore the haters. Trust me, I genuinely do. I have blocked more people than I know what to do with. But this is the reason why I come here and I'm sitting here at times like, and I'm trying to pick my words wisely and shit. Why? Because you people, some of you people, cry and get to this point because some guy on the internet is not saying exactly what you want him to say.
Yeah.
Think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Just close the app and go do something else.
And then it gets aggregated towards other accounts, and then it snowballs from there. And it's like people think that you are a certain person just because fucking 10 other faceless accounts think that way, and then 10 turns into 20 turns into 40, so on and so forth. It's like, bro, you don't know me. I don't know you. I've never met half of these fucking people in my entire life.
Seriously, bro, it is that serious. Like it affects them that much. I don't understand it, man. I genuinely don't understand. I'm from a different era.
Oh, JD doesn't like Jade Cargill's wrestling. He's racist. Like, what? What are you talking about?
How? What?
Meanwhile, on the same show, I'm praising and heaping mountains of love on Naomi. JD's racist. What are you, fucking mental?
I don't understand what is up with society, bro. I mean, I'm just a firm believer, and you just treat people the way you want to be treated. There's plenty of people I don't fucking like. Genuinely, like, I actually don't like them. And I wouldn't say this shit to them like this.
No.
And I don't like them.
No. Now, whoever that person is, you can unfollow me. And when Jesse gives me the ad, I'm blocking you before you unfollow me. So
this is fucking
ridiculous.
Like, I'm sorry to cut for anybody else watching to find out what we thought about Dynamite. I'm sincerely sorry. My humble apologies for interrupting our stream with this, but this is what I deal with. So I just want to put that out there for a minute. That's all.
That's the life of a content creator, bro. You know, you're here and you're on the other side of the camera, and they feel like they could do whatever the fuck they want. That's whatever.
I mean, my God, please pull up. Please pull up. and keep that same energy one day. I don't care who you are, man.
JD in the chat. JD is far from that. Coming from a black person in the South, says Yucho. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Listen, people could think whatever they want, man. Whatever. Not going to lose sleep over it. Jon Moxley's backstage. He says he knows what Hangman is thinking. They've been in a Texas death match before, but that was a long time ago. Moxley's been beaten, outsmarted, outmuscled, but never lost a war of attrition, which is exactly what Saturday will be. If Page thinks he can survive longer than Moxley, he can hold the line under pressure of attack and expectations of everyone who's counting on him. Moxley thinks Page is a victim, waste, pathetic, as he has one chance to prove him wrong. Page better be willing to walk the aisle like it's his last time ever, as whether Page likes it or not, he'll be at All In. Cut and dry promo. Nothing else. We've heard the same song and dance from Jon Moxley before. Moxley's a better promo than he is a wrestler. I'll say that.
He is.
Yeah.
He's not a great.
He's not a bad pro wrestler, but he's a much better promo than he is pro wrestler.
Yeah. He's never been an in-ring tech. He's always been a brawler, man. He'll scrap and brawl and go the distance with anybody, but he's not a great wrestler. He's a great storyteller.
Yeah. I got to shout him out because I seemingly got carried away, but oh my goodness. Effing Raw underscore Flash with a $100 super chat. Flash says, personally, no one can tell you the reasons you feel so strongly about this are wrong because the company has given you reasons to feel this way. Personally, I call this creative direction. The only difference between that and control is that Tony is the end-all, be-all. Very good way to put it. It is an aspect of creative control, but Tony has given the talents that sort of power, and it's all on him. I agree. Yes. Thank you very much, bro. That's a very good comment. Thank you for the $100 super chat.
That's awesome. Thanks, man.
Young Bucks, they walk out of a limousine that they purchased last week and it pulls up to the arena. Excalibur said it looks awful, which it did. It had their image on it, and it said Founding Fathers.
It's old.
Yeah. I'm sure it was a piece of junk in the junkyard before tonight, which Taz even reluctantly had to agree with here. Matt and Nick walked out, gave a salute, and then they walked into the building. We got Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita, who have big matches individually on Friday and Saturday both. Kyle Fletcher's wrestling Adam Cole for the TNT Championship on Saturday afternoon, which should result in Fletcher being the new TNT champion. Did you see, Jesse? I don't know. Maybe you didn't. Adam Cole gave his grade as TNT champion an A+, is what he said.
Where did he do that?
I don't know where he said it. I don't know who he was interviewed by, but he said his reign currently as TNT champion, he gives it an A+.
Was he talking about his reign on AEW Fight Forever? the career mode?
He may be, man. He may be the only one playing that with Evil Uno, man. I don't know.
Bro, side note, I played that with my kids and my brother-in-law over the holiday, I think on the 4th, something like that, because we were all in one room playing multiplayer games on one screen, the way we used to do it before the internet, right? So we were looking for games we could play together on one screen, so we downloaded Fight Forever real quick, and somehow the game got worse. Somehow the game got worse than it was when we played it when it first came out. It's really bad.
Yeah, I bought it once, bro. I bought it the day it came out. I haven't played it maybe more than 30 minutes, and I never played it again.
Oh man, it's so bad. They somehow took our favorite wrestling game platform and somehow made it worse.
They didn't even get that right, bro. I mean, one of the most beloved fucking engines in pro wrestling video gaming history, and they fucked that up. And one of the reasons why I stopped playing is because it became a microtransaction fucking scam. It's like, well, I gotta pay $40 for a fucking wrestling pack for 5 additional characters. Really? And no one's on playing it. What am I supposed to play it by myself?
It is so bad, man. I don't know how they managed to mess that up.
Someone in the chat said Adam Cole must have been talking about his NXT title reign. I don't know. Maybe he was, man. Yeah. I don't know. Probably.
he got dementia and forgot. He thought he was in the Undisputed Era for a second. Man, I don't know. This reign is not that, man.
No. Hopefully, he's got one foot out the door after this reign is over. Fletcher's definitely winning the TNT title. Konosuke Takeshita's wrestling Bandito Friday at Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor. I do not see him winning the Ring of Honor championship. I think that would be ridiculous. Takeshita is so far beyond that. And Bandito is excellent. I love Bandito, so I don't see a title change there. But they wrestled Bandito and Brody King. Brody King teaming with yet another luchador. He's like... he's like the king of the luchadors now, bro. I don't know what's going on there. Do we got any explanation as to why he's all over the luchadors? I mean, he's befriended the luchadors. I don't know. Anyway,
what's going on with Buddy Matthews, man?
I don't know. He's too busy fucking attending to mommy, bro. I mean, I don't blame him.
Did he get caught somehow backstage
I don't
with
know.
Cody?
Well, maybe Rhea showed up at Grand Slam Australia. Maybe he got put in Guantanamo Bay. I don't know. Who knows?
That's really bad. We need him back. They don't know what to do with Brody anymore. They forgot that he even knows Julia Hart. They just forgot about everything with that damn crew, and that was one of the biggest mistakes they've made.
Someone in the chat, Devil Jinx said he's a secret ICE agent. You know, it's kind of funny that he came out saying deport ICE, right, or whatever it is, fuck ICE, and he's teaming with the Luchadors. I don't know if that has anything to do with what's going on here. Is that like a troll? Is like AEW trolling us?
He is. He is always teaming with luchadors at this point, man.
Is it like a play on fucking his shirt from 2 weeks ago at Grand Slam Mexico? I don't know.
Oh my god, bro! What the?
Anyway, Fletcher and Takeshita win. They beat Bandito and Brody King. Bandito quickly tried a tornillo inside the ring. Takeshita popped him up, forearm, middle of the air, raging fire, and he pinned the Ring of Honor champion. If Pro Wrestling 101 stands corrected, the challenger pinned the champion tonight. And the champion will probably get the win on Friday. So that's that. It was a good match. I don't really care about what's coming up for either Fletcher or Takeshita, but both incredible wrestlers.
Takeshita has fallen off, hasn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he's not the only one that's fallen off or has fallen off. We will get to who has fallen off immensely from the last 365 days. He happened to show up tonight. Video package here with the Outrunners and FTR last week. We'll leave that up to Jesse to talk about. I did not watch. What I heard was a fantastic match between the two teams, correct?
Ooh, yes, it was.
I gotta find it. I gotta watch it.
Ooh, yes.
Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd talked about how close they were to winning the match. Still stood toe to toe with the best tag team in all pro wrestling, FTR. FTR, we find out, will team with Christian Cage and Nick Wayne to take on the Outrunners and Jet Speed, on which I guess it should be a surprise to nobody, a live Collision tomorrow, because Collision will not be taking place on Saturday due to All In happening on Saturday. So that's that. Yep. Was it really that good? Do I have to go out and watch it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I will take your word.
Like after this stream, as you're winding down for the night, throw this match on. Don't watch the whole show.
Yeah.
But throw this match on and watch the match.
All right. Renee was backstage with FTR and the Patriarchy asking how this is going to go on Collision. Cage says he could run down FTR's accomplishments, but that he wouldn't have enough time if he did. He's expecting nothing but success, as he likes where FTR's heads are at right now. If they scratch FTR's backs on Collision, they scratch theirs at All In. Stokely Hathaway said it's a miscarriage of justice that FTR aren't included in the tag team title match at All In, which we still have tomorrow, which they could very well still be added, because if they are added, it would make a lot more sense for Adam Copeland to show up, being that they would be in the same match as Christian Cage, and we can get that story finally on its way into All Out, because he hasn't been on TV since they took him out. So Stokely says it's a miscarriage of justice that they're not in the tag team title match. Not like they're the winningest tag team in AEW history or anything. Stokely said it's not on Cage. It's not Cage's fault. So at All In, they'll be watching, and this back scratching thing, we'll see how tomorrow goes. So Stokely has to literally pull Cage's hand up for a handshake as FTR walks away with Cage wiping off his hand. It doesn't sound like he wants to scratch their backs, bro.
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
I don't know how this is going to lead to Copeland. I do foresee Copeland showing up at All In, and I do think we will get something that resembles a progression towards Cope and Christian against FTR, which I would say is the best case scenario for All Out in Toronto and in Canada. So that's happening in September. Ricochet. He went one-on-one with Vanilla Ice over here. Vanilla Baby. Blake Christian. Ice Baby. Listen, if Blake Christian could get booked into the show, like I said before, and like Jesse said, where's Britt Baker?
No time for Britt Baker.
No time for Britt Baker, but we got time for fucking Vanilla Baby. You know, Ricochet, you know, we have praised Ricochet more than we haven't on this show. His character work coming from WWE was a little rough around the edges. And like Jesse and I have talked about several times, has settled into something that I'd like to see blossom and grow. Now, I wouldn't be me if I didn't call out what I'm watching here. And I want you guys to visualize what happened here. Ricochet comes and makes his debut with the company at last year's All In. He showed up in the Gauntlet match. He had a great showing. He looked energized. He looked refreshed. He looked happy to be there. 6 weeks later, they're booking him in a match with Will Ospreay. And he's feuding over the International Championship. And he's got some great matches with Ospreay and Takeshita. And he's in the Continental Classic. And he's having some great matches in the Classic. He even beat Ricochet in the Continental Classic. And he's had that great triple threat match with Speedball Mike Bailey and Kenny Omega at Revolution. It was a great match. What I'm trying to say here is look at his 365-day trajectory, Jesse. We go from what we got to where we are going now this year into All In, and it seemingly is going downwards, bro. Now we see Ricochet going into All In. He's a part of a Gauntlet match, which we don't even know if he's going to be a part of the match or not, because they did say tonight he's going to be in the Gauntlet match, but we don't know if his number is going to be called. He's not specifically in the Gauntlet match. And they have him going into this year's All In, bro, and it looks like they have now aligned him with Toa Leona and Bishop Khan of the Gates of Agony. So I don't know how you feel about it, but it almost feels like Ricochet is going downwards, bro, instead of going where we thought he was, and that's going upwards.
So I see, you know, the talks about Ricochet and how he's being handled right now. I don't know if it's okay. I'm trying to equate it to MJF. MJF is also not being booked as highly as he should be right now. I feel like so many things are at a standstill while they work out this title situation going into All In. The world title situation, these mid-card title situations with Adam Cole, and the 14 titles between Omega and Okada, whatever the fuck they're doing with those titles. I feel like Ricochet could slide into one of those two spots, TNT title or the unified title, something like that. But they're waiting for All In. I mean, I feel like for some reason, somehow, too many things have been paused and put on hold while they get into All In and book these feuds and everything else. I want to see what happens coming out of All In when it's time to hit the proverbial reset button and get some fresh feuds coming in. I want to see how guys like Ricochet and MJF are booked after that. Because I feel like a lot of people are kind of at a standstill, not doing anything. We just got done talking about Brody King tagging with luchadors every fucking week.
Yeah.
No one is really doing anything to advance themselves in any way at all, because everyone is in a holding pattern going into All In to finish and wrap up whatever feuds they have going on before they advance and progress and start anything new with anyone. So I think they have faith in Ricochet. Look, man, Ricochet is on television. I think we need to stop looking gift horses in the mouth. I mean, we just got done talking about people who are not on television.
I know, bro, but you can't. I get what you're saying, and I agree with you somewhat. And it's a fair statement to say, but you can't really snide the other people that are looking at it in the other way, and that is Toa Leona and Bishop Khan have been creatively treated like fucking jobbers. And the optics of it are Ricochet are being paired with two jobbers that Tony doesn't really have any clue how to use, no direction for, and he's just basically throwing them out there to lose random tag team matches and feud with lower card guys. So you have to look at the optics of it and say Ricochet is now part of a loser stable.
The last time I accused a wrestler of being saddled with a losing stable was Swerve, and he still hasn't gotten over that.
Well, he's just soft. That's all.
He is still mad at me for that.
He doesn't really value or understand anybody else's opinion, and that he's a TV star, and that he's a star on this show, and that he's open. His line of work is open to lines of criticism. He doesn't get that.
I mean, truth be told, they took him away from that goddamn stable, and his star power has risen. Well, how wrong could we have been?
I don't think we were wrong at all. I don't think we're wrong on most nights. I think a lot of people, if they actually watch the show, I'd love for someone to fucking tell me what I'm wrong about or what Jesse's wrong about. We're just having a pro wrestling discussion, and this is how we genuinely feel. What am I wrong about? Have we been wrong about anything on this show, viewer?
We can't be wrong.
Chat.
We can't be wrong
what
about
are we saying?
our opinions on the show.
What do we say? What have we said in months, weeks, years that has been so wrong on this show that people send Jesse these fucking absolutely heinous messages? Like, what have we said that is factually incorrect here, bro? What?
If we come on here and say, "Hey, Jesse, how do you like the show?" "Oh, I didn't like it." You're wrong. I'm not wrong. I didn't like it.
Maybe we should go find a real job, bro.
What the fuck?
I don't know. If you're so good at this podcasting thing, where's your fucking podcast? Where is it?
Go do it. Go be right.
How many people? You know how many people have wanted to step into my shoes and are not able to fucking work the grind the way that I do? Give me a break. Most of these people would fold after fucking 3 days. You kidding me?
That is fact, man. I can't keep up with this guy's grind.
Come on, man.
Every time I see him going live and going online, I'm looking around like I have stuff to do around my house. I got stuff to do with my family. I can't. It is hard. Holidays. You're fucking here on the 4th. Streaming.
I'm here on the 4th of July instead of me being in a fucking pool somewhere looking at the fireworks from Long Island, looking over the fucking bay into Manhattan. You kidding me?
Yep.
Fuck out of here.
It's
Nobody
easy,
appreciates it. Nobody, JD, this and that. JD's this, JD's that. Really? Yeah, you want your own show? Go start your own show, bro, and do what I do. Please. Please.
Yeah. And then go deal with people such as yourself complaining about what you
Go
do.
find a deviate that's going to make you look as good as we do here. You can't. You can't. The fucking, the paycheck from Burger King isn't enough to even buy yourself a fucking $40 microphone. Fuck out of here.
Hey, feel free to, give it a shot. Go ahead. Prove what's wrong. Grow a huge platform. Be successful. Improve the community. I'm all for it. But sitting around and complaining about someone else's success just makes you an unnecessary hater.
That's exactly what I'm seeing more and more every single week. You know, a lot of people. You're gonna get me on a fucking rant now. A lot of things that I've seen in the last several weeks. Some of the content that's coming along, you guys know how I vehemently dislike the fucking reaction streamers. I mean, it's just, Jesse does it because, I don't have a problem Jesse doing it because, I love Jesse, but, he even said it's not rewatchable content. It's just the laziest form of content. You watch a show with him while it's live, and then nobody's going to go back and watch that video. It's dead.
Yeah.
As soon as you're done, it's dead. So I don't really like that content. Not for me. I just feel very empty doing that type of content. But I'm starting to see the influx of, some of these up and coming creators. They think they're a big deal now. I'm not going to name them because I think they're all fucking absolute garbage. It's like WWE is terrible, and then they put in parentheses rant, or Triple H is fucking a horrible booker rant.
It's a rant.
It's like, bro, I get it, man. It's the lowest form of fucking content that you could possibly make, and you're basically accumulating viewers off of you hating WWE. That's it. I get it. Meanwhile, people think that we hate AEW, but I'm the same way with WWE. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. We don't have content out here, Tony Khan is a fucking mark rant. No, I don't make content like that. You come here for a valued discussion. You come here to hear two people talk like they're sitting at the bar, shooting the shit. That's what I've created here. I'm never like that. Everything I say, everything Jesse says, there's a fucking beginning, middle, and an end. There's a reason for our madness. We don't create content with fucking this grifting mentality of I'm going to hate WWE today and I'm going to put rant in the title and I'm going to yell about how I don't like what he's doing. And that's what's growing nowadays. And people think this is content. It's garbage.
Nope. Did you hear YouTube is changing what they're going to pay for their content creators now?
What they pay? What are they paying?
They're no longer going to pay AI generated channels. You have to use your real voice. You cannot monetize a channel and get paid for content using AI generated content, including your voice. You can't rehash previously posted content. I'll send you the link to it. They just posted that very recently.
Interesting.
Starting July 15th.
Is it that they're going to crack down on content that they don't deem original content? Is something like that?
Something like that. Yeah.
Is reaction streams in that category or no?
No, not at all.
Okay, good.
No, because it's still commentary. It's still different content. It's original content. It's not, because there are people who just sit around and create an AI platform, an AI engine to create an entire video, voice, video, and everything, and they monetize it.
Guys, I see what you're doing in the chat. I'm not picking on anybody in particular. I love Santi Zap. I think he's a very intelligent guy. We had him on the show. We did the WrestleMania Roundtable or whatever we did. Yeah, I think it was WrestleMania Roundtable. Con Man is cool. Him and I had a problem very early on. We squashed that. We love Ross. I'm not pinpointing anybody in particular. All these guys are smart guys. Some are going to say what they're really feeling, and some are not because they have reasons to. I don't really follow that ideology. I'm going to fucking say what I want. I don't give a fuck what happens and who hears it. I don't give a shit. That's just the way that I built my content. Some people grow faster than me because I am that way. I'm not going to sacrifice who I am for fucking keeping my mouth shut because I don't want to upset people or I don't want to upset a pro wrestler. I don't give a shit. This is my show. And if you don't like it, tough shit. But those guys are great. I'm not pinpointing anybody. I just think the landscape of that content is awful. I do. I feel empty when I make that content. I can't sit there and do it. I commend them for doing it because I couldn't do it. How do I react to a show,
Yeah, no, look, there is enough to go around as far as the community goes with whatever content that you want to create. And we're not just talking about the wrestling bubble. Whatever you can fucking think of, there's a niche for it. And just because it's not your niche does not make what they do irrelevant, bad, stupid, ridiculous. It just makes it theirs. Someone else enjoys it. Great. Women all over the internet are going around putting on makeup online, and they have dozens of like hundreds of thousands of followers watching them do it. To me, that's like watching paint dry. To just sit and watch women put makeup on.
Yeah. But
it is a very, very profitable niche. Do you find something that is entertaining to a small group of people and it's something that you enjoy, do it. Don't let somebody tell you that it's stupid and you shouldn't be doing it.
I agree. It's a good way to put it.
Nope. Something for everybody. If it's not your cup of tea, change the fucking channel. Go find your cup of tea.
I agree. You know who's not my cup of tea, bro? Vanilla Baby. I don't know why he's on TV and Britt Baker's not. So,
oh my God.
He wrestled Ricochet. Ricochet wins. Vertigo. I don't know why the match. Listen, I wish they would have given some thought elsewhere to the show instead of putting this on the show. We didn't need this here. Post match, Khan and Leona, the Gates of Agony. They stand tall with Ricochet post match. I guess he's found his backup. Did we get any explanation on Collision? Why he's chosen these two guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there an explanation as to why he chose them?
I mean,
maybe. Teaser, maybe. No, yeah, yes, maybe, yes, no.
There's been no reason. They've been doing things. It feels like they've just been doing things to get in his good graces, and he seemingly have accepted these gestures, and it seems like they're gonna be his heavy. To me, it doesn't feel right because they're not bald. I brought it up on my stream. Since Ricochet being bald is his whole goddamn gimmick, I figured they should shave their heads. And they have some beautiful hair, those two guys.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Ricochet is very bald.
Yep.
I'm going bald. I'll be bald. Give me 10 years.
You'll see.
Renee.
Well,
I'll see what? My baldness?
Oh, no. We can all see that.
No, you can't. No, not with my Braves hat on. But JD wears the same hat every stream. Let me relive my fucking World Series win, okay? I got to feel better about this year. Do you mind? Renee, backstage with the Hurt Syndicate, asked MJF about the talky-talk with Mark Briscoe. MJF says he's not going out there alone as Briscoe is about to get hurt at all, and MJF is going to get back what is rightfully is the AEW World title. So he's teasing winning the Gauntlet and cashing in on Moxley or Hangman. So MVP Benjamin and Lashley left, and they realized their tag team titles were stolen. And there was a message on the whiteboard in the locker room written by Jetspeed. It said, "Hey, Shelton, since I already pinned you on Collision, figured we would take the titles. Happy birthday, signed Jetspeed." So they all went to the ring. MJF had to deal with Mark Briscoe and the talky-talk, and that was coming up next. Before we got to that, there was an excellent video package on Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada. I'm genuinely, I'm not ingrained in the New Japan lore. I've only seen 2 out of their current 4 matches together. I'm looking forward to this on Saturday. I think this is probably the one match I'm looking forward to most on Saturday. Just to see the pro wrestling and see what everybody has kind of lived through for the last few years with their New Japan legacy. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm excited to see what they bring to the table.
There you go.
I truly, truly am. I hope it can live up to it.
I hope so. MJF and Mark Briscoe, they had their talky-talk. We have Tiny Pickle signs everywhere, chants of Tiny Pickles in the crowd. Briscoe agreed with the fans, told them to simmer down. It's time for a talky-talk, which MJF said is the dumbest shit he's heard in his entire life. I would have to partially agree, but it is Mark Briscoe. We love Mark Briscoe. MJF mocks the crowd saying, "Howdy, y'all," because it's Texas. I hope Briscoe doesn't mosey down his way to All In, as he'll dog walk you. MJF said stepping in the ring with him is about as ignorant as throwing rocks at a man with a machine gun. And he points to the microphone, meaning the mic is his machine gun, telling the hillbilly to take a walkie-walk back to his meth lab in Dumpster Fire, Delaware, to feed all 95 of his inbred children shoe leather and chicken feed, you pathetic poor. Now, I laughed at this because, it was just one after the other, after the other, after the other. And it's like, this is the MJF that we come to see, man. It's like, this is what I want to see. MJF did a dance, and he's dancing like a hillbilly. And you can hear Taz kind of snickering on commentary. Briscoe said, what MJF needs is a good old country ass whooping, and it'll happen at All In. Saturday is ass whooping day, but Wednesday is talky-talk day. As Briscoe's proud to be a redneck, he works hard for every dollar he put in his pocket. MJF is wearing his dumbass suit and scarf that probably costs more than his entire wardrobe. MJF might have money, but the good Lord has blessed Briscoe with family, friends, which MJF is bankrupt in. The word of the day is bankrupt, says Briscoe, as MJF is morally bankrupt and has no soul. Briscoe sees right through MJF. He knows what he's about to do. Talk some dumb shit about his brother to get him riled up, or Briscoe has been preparing all week, so please, do your best. MJF said, I would never say anything bad about your brother, who will go down as one of the best wrestlers of all time, one of the greatest people ever. He's got a special place in heaven. However, MJF does pity his brother, as he has to look down from the pearly gates of heaven to see Mark Briscoe and what he's become, and he's probably rolling in his grave, seeing his brother go from one half of the greatest tag team of all time, them boys, to nothing but a joke. MJF isn't a betting man, but he bets if Jay Briscoe was somehow able to be here in the flesh tonight, he'd say, chicken, it shouldn't have been me in that accident. It should have been you. Now, Briscoe and MJF start fighting. Out comes the Hurt Syndicate. Shelton Benjamin, MVP, and Bobby Lashley turn around, and Jet Speed quickly attacks them from behind. MJF tried to bolt out of the ring, but Briscoe chased him out of the building. Jet Speed continued their attack on the Hurt Syndicate, throwing them A beatdown with the tag team titles, slamming Benjamin to the steel steps. Bayley followed with a drop kick. Running double boot took out Lashley as Jet Speed finally, after weeks of being treated like geeks, got some revenge on the Hurt Syndicate. The Patriarchy then slowly walks out from the back as Christian Cage and Kip Sabian slam Lashley and MVP against the barricade. Nick Wayne joined Cage and gave them concertos to the knees. That was on Bobby Lashley. Back in the ring, Benjamin ate a roundhouse kick from Mike Bailey. Knight followed up with his UFO splash. Jet Speed and the Patriarchy stared at each other as commentary said the tag team title match looks set for All In. Now, I'll start with the MJF thing, Jesse. A lot of people on social media were complaining that MJF went too far. He crossed the line for what he said about Jay Briscoe. And here I am having to speak common sense to everybody again, because everybody wants to think with their emotions and just complain about everything as soon as it happens. MJF requested, according to SAP, requested to work with Mark Briscoe. This is something that he wanted. It was something that had special meaning to him. He wanted to work with Briscoe. You don't think that with MJF's creative input here, that he went over this with Mark Briscoe beforehand and that they both knew that this was going to be the segment and this was going to be said tonight? What is exactly MJF crossing the line? MJF being MJF? MJF being a heel? MJF doing his job correctly and getting you to fucking complain about what he said? Everything that MJF did, Jesse, he checked off all those boxes. I don't know why everybody, honestly, because of a lack of a better word here for me to use, why is everybody such a pussy? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, so I mentioned this on my stream earlier, and I'm quite confident that this was approved by Mark Briscoe long before. You know what I'm saying? So I refuse to believe that MJF decided to go out there and mention his brother in this way without Mark Briscoe's prior approval.
Blessing?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I did also mention this though, that the passing of Jay Briscoe, affected a lot of people. None more than Mark, I'm sure. Obviously the rest of the Briscoe family, and the Pugh family and everything like that. I'm quite confident that everybody else that was in the family and his friends, they were all affected by his death. But so were the fans. Some fans were probably lifelong Briscoe Brothers fans, and to have him brought up like this, I think I said something along the lines of, I can see it being a little bit like cringy. I'm not going around white knighting and sticking up and calling bullshit and saying this is horrible. How can MJF do this? No shit like that. But as I'm watching it live, I was sitting there like, this kind of feels like the low-hanging fruit for MJF, first off. I'm like, I know he could do better than this. But I'm aware that this is MJF's gimmick, and this is how much of a dick he is. So I'm not like sitting here angry or mad or how could you do this? This is horrible. Nothing like that. But I just felt like this wasn't necessary. Like, did you really need to? I mean, low-hanging fruit. I mean, I feel like he could have done much better than this. I mean, was it that necessary to get this dude off the ground? Did we have to do that? Which is probably what a lot of people probably felt. It wasn't like, well, if Mark is okay with it, then it's fine. No one else is gonna give a shit.
I mean, it's fine. It's MJF, but is it like kind of a retread of what he usually does? Could he do better? Sure. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and complain about it, but it's at the end of the day, it's MJF. What do you expect?
Yeah, I feel like that was just like, that's cheap heat that he didn't. He could have come out and said your local sports team sucks, and I'd be saying the same thing. Like that really. Low-hanging fruit. That's the best you can fucking do. You're supposed to be the king on this mic shit, and that's what you had. Come on, man.
Yeah, I didn't really mind it. I mean, it's nice. I was trying to look at it in a positive way. You know, they are number 1 and 2 in the Gauntlet match, and it gives them some heat going into the Gauntlet match. So I like that.
Yeah, I wasn't like sitting there fake raging and butthurt and tweeting and canceling MJF and how could you, you know? But I wasn't like, oh man, MJF got him. Ooh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah.
It didn't make the match any better for me either. So to me, that makes it just like, let's find something else. This is not making me more interested in the match because you brought up Jay. I mean, is that gonna be the cheat code for all Mark Briscoe matches? Bring up Jay. And you know, it's the low hanging fruit, man.
Yeah.
I mean, are we gonna bring up Brody Lee? You know, every time we want to, you know, dig up someone on the dark, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like let the legends, you know, rest in peace. I mean, is it that important? Hell, what if Mark Briscoe gets a world title match one day? It feels like that would be a situation to bring up some Jay Briscoe shit. And it would probably, you know, serve a better purpose rather than just we're the first 2 in the Casino Gauntlet match. Let's bring up your brother. I'm like, come on, man. I know they can do better than that.
We will see what happens on Saturday. MJF is definitely one of the odds-on favorites to win the Gauntlet match. I don't really give Briscoe a chance to win it, but
no, none at all.
No, it's.
I would save a J dig for a major match that you know Mark is going to win too.
Yeah,
by the way.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, it's. I enjoyed last year's probably more than anything else on that show last year. So I am looking forward to what they do here, especially with the men's tag team title match. Not so much, you know. After weeks, Jesse, we vehemently made fun of this last week. This was Jetsby could not look any bigger of geeks than they did last week. I mean, just beat down, come back, beat down, come back. It's like Tony thought that there was going to be some sort of sympathy card from the fans because they're valiant baby faces. They looked fucking awful, and they look like some of the most unbelievable fucking guys in there with the Hurt Syndicate. I don't give them a shot in the dark to win. Christian Cage and Nick Wayne are in this thing. You know, the first thing that I think of is that they're there to take the pinfall because they don't want to pin Jet Speed. I don't get any excitement for this, and the tag team division right now is so fucking lame. And it's not only an AEW thing; it's a world, it's a company-wide thing in WWE too. Monday Night Raw's tag team division is awful, but the AEW tag team division is such a shell of its former self. I don't know what we do here. I don't know if they add FTR to this. I figured FTR and Copeland would kind of cross paths it all in. Copeland and Christian Cage is the rumor. Them getting back together. How are we going to do that? Is that why they're in this thing? Is that why they're now kind of pairing them up with FTR on Collision on Thursday? We don't know, but I mean, who's excited about this, bro? This entire segment was fucking awful. There's no heat to this whatsoever. Everything just feels so forced.
Yeah, you know, I was kind of confused while this beatdown was happening because it kind of felt like it stretched beyond some baby faces getting revenge, and it started looking like they were turning the Hurt Syndicate babyface. I mean, they just it got to a point. Well, I don't know, because maybe it was because the patriarchy were helping. We got the patriarchy helping. We got like all of these fucking people beating down 2 dudes and a manager. It's like, this does not feel like some babyface shit right now. It feels like it's broaching onto turning territory. And like it felt off. I get why they did it. Because they made Jet Speed look so bad over the last couple of weeks. But this just felt like, I mean, okay, who's going to win this match? Clearly the Hurt Syndicate. So what did we do going forward to the Hurt Syndicate? How did we just... I would rather the burial continue than have the Hurt Syndicate beat down like this by these 2 guys who has no shot in hell at winning. I didn't like the Hurt Syndicate being laid out like this by these 2 guys. I didn't like it at all.
Bro, the way that they're setting this shit up. You want to know what I'm thinking here? And this is the way my brain operates. The tag team division is completely fucking a waste of time. There's not one single team in this division that is even close to being as credible as the Hurt Syndicate. They've killed everybody. They've run through everybody, and that's their own fault. That's Korea's fault. They didn't think. Everybody that they've thrown in front of the Hurt Syndicate has been buried. This is the way that I'm thinking. We don't need Copeland and Christian to reunite and wrestle FTR for the tag team titles. That's going to be a feud that is embroiled in revenge and hatred and the bond of friendship that comes together again. We don't need titles for that. It's just a waste of time. So I'm not even going to start thinking and theorizing that the championships are going to be on the line there. Let's give the titles to FTR. We don't need it. Hurt Syndicate, you are correct, are walking out as the tag team champions here. So what happens? Who else is there? The Outrunners? No, I'm not buying the Outrunners going against the Hurt Syndicate and winning the tag team titles. We've been there, done that. They got squashed at Dynasty, I believe. The thing is, and this is the way that I'm thinking, the Bucks beat Ospreay and Swerve. Ospreay and Swerve can't challenge for the world championships for 365 days. I honestly think the way that I thought about it and the way we theorized it last week, Swerve turning heel is probably a great option to have. I don't think that they do that. I think that they stay a team and they go after the tag team titles because they are the only other team that right now cohesively can exist that could probably take down the Hurt Syndicate. Maybe we get, instead of Ospreay winning the world title in London at Forbidden Door, which everybody kind of predicted, which if he loses is not going to be the case, maybe he wins the tag team titles in London at Forbidden Door, or whenever that is, Forbidden Door, and they beat the Hurt Syndicate, and he's crowned champion in London, and then we get them as the tag team champions because they would be the only team that could honestly take down the Hurt Syndicate, and they would be the tag team champions.
I can see that too.
I don't know.
I can see that too. The tag division is
at that point. Then what do you do? Yeah, there's no. Then at that point, you're back in the same boat. Who is the next heel team to take them on? FTR. Yeah. You know, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. I don't know.
They have to rebuild the tag division and the trios division at the same goddamn time.
Yeah. I don't know.
You know, it might not be a bad idea to split those titles up on the two different companies. If you put the trios titles on like Collision and the tag team titles on Dynamite, it might be a little bit easier to separate the divisions to have legitimate trios and tag divisions that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, they're both in a bad spot because if one is, then the other one's going to be.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. This was some of the community liked this segment. They called it incredible. This was anything but incredible. This was
incredible.
This was fucking one of the shills. Completely awful.
I like how they left the Hurt Syndicate looking. I mean, I just felt like it goes against their whole goddamn gimmick.
Heatless match, bro. You got two heel tag teams and a babyface team that's not even over. Who cares?
Man. Yeah, I don't get it.
Megan Bayne. I get what. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Maybe it's the fact of seeing the Hurt Syndicate get laid out like this. I mean, it's just very off-putting. I would rather have MVP and Sheldon come back to the locker room and find Bobby Lashley's been beat up and they trying to figure out who and all this shit. I mean, I don't know. It's just something about the Hurt Syndicate and the way they've already been built, the way they've been made to look up until this point, which is great. They look strong. Seeing them get beat down like this was just kind of off-putting for me. I don't know if
it's a heatless match. Listen, the tag team division is, and this tag team match is one of the more heatless matches that AEW's put together all year.
It is.
Megan Bayne, she wins a Fatal 4-Way Gauntlet match to earn the number 2 spot in the women's Gauntlet match. So she is now going to start the match on Saturday with Chris Statlander. Megan Bayne was clearly the right choice here and clearly the one that they put a lot of effort into making look good here. This was not really a good match. It did what it needed to do to get Megan Bayne over. Thekla was in there, Tay Melo was in there, and Queen Aminata rounded out the 4. And Megan Bayne wins. I don't really know who else wins the Gauntlet match, Jesse. I think we either go Bayne or Statlander winning the Gauntlet match on Saturday.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing because Megan Bayne is clearly, the one they're trying to, continue to push. But
yeah, she's undefeated on Collision, correct?
Still undefeated on Collision. But now they get this thing going on with Chris Statlander and the Death Riders though. Does she win because of Marina Shafir.
They made Ford look good tonight. Ford wasn't in the match, Action Waffle. What are you talking about? Penelope Ford wasn't in the match. It was Thekla, it was Tay Melo, and it was Queen Aminata. Penelope Ford was on the outside as a manager for Megan Bayne.
I don't know. But yeah, no, it I don't know. I might go with Statlander with the help of Marina Shafir.
Are you saying that she's going to join the Death Riders?
Maybe this might still be a part of them trying to court her, because on Collision she kind of addressed it with Wheeler like, I don't need your guys' help, because they helped her win, her last match, and she was like, I didn't need your help, and she just kind of walked away. Maybe they send Marina Shafir out there to help her again, to try to get her into the Death Riders.
Maybe. You know who they're not courting?
Who's that?
Shayna Baszler.
Oh yeah, is this confirmed? Is she a producer now?
She got a tryout on NXT last night. She produced the who was it? I forgot. What's her name? Kaylani Jordan match on NXT last night.
What is this thing about WWE trying to convince wrestlers to stop being wrestlers?
It's basically stopping Shayna Baszler from signing with AEW to team with Marina Shafir to battle Statlander and Willow, like the plan probably ended up as. Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Why in the hell would you need Shayna Baszler to produce any matches? Like, not saying that she's great or bad or good or okay at it, but I'm quite confident you have producers that you can be using, and you don't need Shayna Baszler, one who is currently an active wrestler. Why would you need Shayna Baszler to be a producer?
I'm going to give you the answer that Triple H probably speaks to Shawn Michaels of in private, bro. This is not coming from me. I love Shayna. I think Shayna's great. I would share a cold beverage with Shayna. This is Triple H's mentality. She's old, bro.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, man. They do act like that too. I saw Charlotte complaining about her age somewhere.
Yeah.
That's just wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. Samoa Joe is on the show. He wrestled Wheeler. Useless! You can't see his eyes anymore, bro. What happened? Who needs a haircut more, me or Wheeler Yuta?
Not cutting Yuta's hair. Loving it. Looks like a shaggy dog.
All right, he's out there. He taps out immediately to the coquina clutch. Gabe Kidd.
Quickly.
Yeah, quickly. I mean, Gunther-like quickly from Jey Uso WrestleMania. Post-match, Gabe Kidd attacked Joe from behind, put the boots to him. With Yuta, Powerhouse Hobbs and Katsuyori Shibata sprinted out as Kidd and Yuta escaped. We may be adding a trios match to Saturday's card, Jesse. We may be getting the Ops against the Death Riders here in the form of Claudio, Yuta, and Gabe Kidd for the trios titles.
I think I had that in my notes.
There you go. And I see Hook coming back, and I see Hook costing the Ops.
I don't know why Hook is gone. I'm starting to not care anymore.
Me neither. It's been too long.
It's been too long. They fucked it up.
And the main event, we got another all-star match here, man. Oh, man, Jon Moxley, Claudio, and the Young Bucks against Adam, Hangman Page, Will Ospreay, and Powerhouse Hobbs, along with Shibata. Who won it? Moxley tagged in as Claudio hit a neutralizer. Moxley applied the Bulldog choke. Moxley gets the win for the Death Riders. Great. Yeah, fantastic.
That's awesome.
Post-match here, Page ran into the ring, and he got a few punches in before Wheeler Yuta and Gabe Kidd hit the ring. Shafir handed a chain to Moxley, who wrapped it around the throat of Adam Page. Ospreay tried to make the save, but he was taken out. Bucks and the Death Riders stood tall as Shafir handed the Bucks plastic bags, and they wanted to suffocate Will Ospreay and Adam Page until Swerve showed himself on the big screen. Strickland was sitting in a crane of sorts, a dirt digger, and he told the Bucks that what they've done this year has been out of control. So he's taking back some of that control. Creative control, I guess, right? Leaving the rest of Ospreay, the rest for Ospreay himself at All In. So this is how vengeance goes, he says, as Strickland smashes the Bucks limousine with the front end of the dirt digger repeatedly, causing the Bucks to run out of the ring and find that their car is incapacitated. Samoa Joe ran in to help make the save. Ospreay hits a huge dive onto the Death Riders as Strickland is out there with the Bucks. He flips off the camera. He eventually gets them and delivers a swerve stomp off of the crane, or the driver's seat of the crane, not off the top of the crane, onto the Bucks, and takes them out. And the babyfaces chase the Death Riders away as they retreat with Paige, Ospreay, and the Ops standing tall. That's the way the show goes off the air.
There you go.
I didn't really get a sense that Hangman is any closer to the world title tonight.
Yeah, me either. I thought we were gonna be getting that age-old trope where it's like, oh look, there we go. Moxie standing tall, and then they backed away from that.
Yeah,
they kind of kept us guessing in that regard. I can appreciate that. That's fine.
Collision tomorrow night. It's live on TNT. Mystico will go one-on-one with the Beast Mortos.
Ooh.
Oh man, the Beast is 4 weeks now, bro. We're counting 4 weeks in a row. He's got star-studded matches, bro.
Oh.
Marquee matches for Frank the Attorney over there. FTR on the Patriarchy versus the Outrunners and Jet Speed. Bring a pillow. That is your AEW Dynamite coverage. We got 1,000 likes. We didn't even ask for 1,000 likes. You guys got 1,000 likes. Where are we going, Jesse? We going somewhere?
You guys came through in the clutch, so we have somewhere to go. Let me minimize this screen right here. I moved that right there.
Can I ask a question before we get to where we gotta go?
Sure. What's your question?
Are we should I cue up the mariachi music tonight?
Someone asked that. I don't have a reason for us to.
All right,
side streets.
I'll make a decision on the fly. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know about that one, but we do have somewhere to go though, and it is Collision Corner.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Collision Corner, man. There he is. Look at him.
Oh, right. We have to go old school on this one, man. This is gonna be a good one.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Don't worry, guys. I'll take us down. I'm driving. I'm driving this, okay? We'll go down Lucha Lane, okay?
Hey. No detours. Here we go. Oh, well, I forget. Collision Corner sponsors. I have 2 exclusive sponsors. I want to shout out David Rice and Jonas Tiger. They have contributed to the channel and have earned the spots of sponsors of Collision Corner.
What's his name? Jonas Tiger?
Jonas Tiger.
Oh, man. Is he like Beast Mortos?
Yeah, that sounds like a street character or something. Sounds like I want to do an uppercut. All right. The show starts with Adam Cole. Why Adam Cold? Adam Cole white knighting AEW, man. I mean,
he's white knighting. What are you talking about?
Bro, he was waving the goddamn flag for AEW, loud and proud, loving it. I am all AEW. This company's on an upright. Everything is great. We are so happy. Well, that pissed off Kyle Fletcher. Because Kyle Fletcher comes out and he wants a goddamn title match at All In.
Great.
All right? He said he wants his title match at All In. Well, that pissed off Daniel Garcia. Because Daniel Garcia comes out and he wants a title match at All In. Fletcher says, oh, buck that. I already beat Garcia. And one of the funniest things ever happened, Garcia admits that he's an absolute loser. He literally says.
Oh, man.
He literally says, so you've beaten Daniel Garcia. So what? Everybody's beaten Daniel Garcia.
What a fucking loser is, man.
At this point, I have no idea where he's going with this. Who sends this man out to call himself a loser? What the fuck, man?
Don't you think Tony's regretting that paycheck, bro? Really? Bringing him back? Oh, man.
Oh, but they do agree that their main event match later in the night should be for the #1 contendership for the TNT title. All right, fine. We get Shelton Benjamin versus Nick Wayne versus Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight wins. Wait, what the fuck?
He pinned who? He didn't pin Shelton Benjamin, did he?
Oh yeah, he pinned Shelton Benjamin.
Why?
All I have here is wait, what?
Oh yeah, the Hurt Syndicate are definitely winning on Saturday, man. Get the fuck out of here.
What the fuck? We get the Ops versus the Death Riders at All In. We just alluded to that a few minutes ago. All right, we get Mark Briscoe, Hologram.
Wait a minute. You didn't tell me Hologram was on the show, bro.
Bro. Right, it's Collision. Where else would Hologram be?
I gotta detour us, bro.
Oh, we gotta take a detour. Wait, let me see. Hechicero. Okay, that's probably enough for a detour. Okay, fine. All right.
Hologram. Oh man.
Mark Briscoe, Hologram, and Mystico too, versus RPG Vice and Hechicero.
Wow. What is Briscoe's affiliation with the Luchadors now, bro? I thought that was Brody King's forte.
Stupid questions. Mark Briscoe,
does he speak
Hologram,
Spanish?
Mystico wins. Fuck, probably not. Baby faces win. I don't think anybody really cared too much.
Yeah, that's right. Hechicero's in the Don Callis family, ain't he?
Well, is he? Kinda. Wait.
I don't know. Is he? I don't know.
They had somebody. No, they had a luchador. I thought.
Yes, Hechicero.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. That makes sense, I guess. Sure. But they lost. So baby faces win. Now, when MJF and MVP show up backstage and they say a bunch of mean stuff, we cut back to the ring and they hit that damn music for the third time. Bro, what is up with was it Mystico's music? It sounds like it sounds like Selena. You know, the Mexican singer that was killed by her like crazy fan?
Yeah.
She's just singing like this ballad. This is the wrestling entrance theme for Mystico.
This type of shit gets these marks over, bro. I mean, I don't know. They fucking fawn over this shit.
Bro, they played that song like 3 goddamn times.
They don't know how to ruin something, man. This company ruins everything.
Oh my god.
He's gonna get the big entrance in fucking Texas too. Watch.
I'm sitting like, why do they keep and it's like a love song ballad. I mean, the people like putting their lighters up and from their phones and everything and starting like, bro, what the fuck is happening right now? This is so terrible for a luchador's entrance music.
I don't know, man. People love it.
I don't get it. Max Caster comes out for another open challenge.
Loser.
Out comes Layla Gray.
Oh. We love
Scorpio,
Layla Gray, man.
And Scorpio Sky too.
Who?
That's right.
What?
I got here. I honestly wasn't quite sure who was gonna win this one. I don't know.
Imagine, man, he comes back after all these years, man. How are we gonna use him, man? Let's throw him in a fucking match with Max Caster.
Max Caster comes out like, oh, gee, I wonder who's gonna win this one. The match went 55 seconds, and to my surprise, Max Caster lost.
Wow.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow, Scorpio Sky got a win, man. What was his first match since when, man? Like 4 years ago?
Oh my God, I forgot. I should have looked that up though. I didn't even think about that.
I'm surprised he remembered how to wrestle. Honestly,
he looks great.
Okay, there you go.
They showed a nice little montage video package of him training, you know, for his comeback and shit like that. Okay, he was training with the Top Flight guys and all that stuff. I guess this is the part where they want me to care about Scorpio Sky, and I really want to because he's great. But I'm just tired of being fucking.
You know what I'm gonna look forward to now, man? I'm gonna see if they use him tomorrow, second week in a row. That's what I'm gonna look forward to.
Come on,
that'll be the real test, bro.
Slow down, slow down. All right. The Vanilla Baby and Lee Johnson got beat up off camera by the Gates of Agony and at the behest of Ricochet. I guess that makes them heels now. Remember when the Vanilla Baby and Lee Johnson were heels?
Were they?
Yeah, they were heels.
Pardon me, bro. I don't remember.
They were heels. See?
One would have to watch Collision to understand that statement.
This is true. This is true. Willow Nightingale versus the Vipress.
Who? Is she a snake?
I don't know, but she had some. Okay, I'm not gonna get into that.
Was she a dominatrix?
No,
Okay.
no, she was the Vipress.
Oh, maybe she's a cosplay Randy Orton. I don't know.
And if Randy Orton had an ass like this,
man. Okay.
Rude.
Listen, man,
know,
you're not going to convince me to watch Collision, okay? You got to stop it.
Well, this was worth picking up. I mean, let's see. All right, let me see. What else we got? Cut the music. Cut the music for a second.
Okay.
All right. FTR versus the Outrunners was a really good goddamn match.
I heard it was.
Everybody go out of their way to go watch this match.
Yeah, Dax. We love you, bro.
Dax, oh my God. Dax the Axe. Then we get Tay J. Oh my God, start the music back quick. Okay. We get Tay J and Queen Aminata and Thunder Rosa.
Whoa.
Versus Thekla, Charlotte Lesnar, Julia Hart, and Athena.
Wow.
Athena was on my television, bro.
This was a Tony All-Star special, huh?
Very much so. Charlotte Lesnar wins. Nothing special. Who cares? Okay. Main event. Here we go. Kyle Fletcher versus Daniel Garcia. We get Cole and Callis on commentary. Don Callis accused Cole of burying talent before he got there on the commentary, and then immediately calls Garcia, and I quote, a complete waste of skin. I'm not making this up.
Wait a minute. Don Callis said Adam Cole buries talent?
Yeah. He said that Adam Cole was burying talent on the because he was on the headset before Don Callis got there.
Okay.
So he said he's Adam Cole's out here burying talent again. Oh, here comes Garcia. What a complete waste of skin.
That should be on his nameplate when he comes down the aisle and they throw the graphic up. Danny Garcia, a waste of skin. Oh my God.
Oh God.
How is this the main event of your show? Is this the main event? Is this the main event?
What's up?
Is this the main event?
This is the main event.
Oh my God.
It's the main event, man. Kyle Fletcher, Daniel Garcia. Turns out Garcia was correct in his assessment earlier. He is a loser because he lost to Kyle Fletcher clean. Fletcher goes on to face Adam Cole at All In. And ladies and gentlemen, that is this week's edition of Collision Corner. And I don't know what to say, man. I'm telling you guys right now, I absolutely watch Collision, so you guys don't have to.
Oh my God, man! Listen, man. Wasn't that All-Star 8-woman tag team match the same match as the previous week? Didn't they do that?
No.
Like two weeks ago?
No. Because Penelope Ford was in that match. So hot. Okay.
This show is fucking awful, man. Oh my
face.
God, this is terrible. Fucking awful.
Oh.
Anyway, thank you guys for the great stream, man. You got 1,000 likes. Collision Corner in the books.
1,000 likes. You guys rock, man.
Yes, we're gonna get into your super chats now. So please make sure you guys follow us on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn the bell for notifications. Go and follow Jesse on Twitter, and please go subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. Everything you need is linked in the description down below. Make sure you guys go get your new t-shirts. Tuesday Night Titans, the best of the best of the best. One of the best two-man podcasts in the entire space. If not, if I'm speaking factually, the best in the space. We kill it every single week. Thank you guys for a great stream last night. The most in-depth and deep discussion on all of the pro wrestling that you're getting this weekend, preview and prediction show. Make sure you guys go check that out. Bonfire.com link is also down in the description. Support. And super chats are open. Get them on in. We're going to start with Hannah. Comes in at 4:30 with a $4.99. Great American Bash. More like Great American Pass. Or Great American Trash.
That's Sidro.
Hope you have a great stream tonight. I'll be tuning in tomorrow on my way to Arlington. Cheers. Be safe, Hannah. Enjoy yourself. Have a cold beverage for me. And yes, the Great American Bash is fucking awful. I don't know how they are running a card like they are against All In. It's just fucking awful. Honestly, it's maybe one of the worst NXT cards on paper I've ever seen.
Is Triple H just literally throwing out content?
Yes.
Just to, counter-program.
I think Triple H has a part in saying what he thinks is the right move, but I think it's a Nick Khan move. Honestly, it's a Nick Khan decision.
That's so trifling. Bro.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely petty beyond petty.
It is. Olivia with a 6 in Bulgaria super chat. Hey JD, Bulgaria is OTS. Love it. Love TNT. 3:30 a.m. here. Protoshita sounds like advanced Japanese smart toilet, and YouTube won't let me make a super chat more than 2. I am sorry, Olivia. I think there is. You click the dollar icon and you do super chat, and then you enter your own amount, Olivia. It's right there. I think.
Try, Olivia. Try from a different device.
Yeah.
I've heard people complain.
Yeah.
About not being able to do certain things on YouTube on the phone that they can do on a tablet or a computer. Try a different device.
Yes. Lucas, what's up, brother? $4.99. After that go-home show, I might not even watch All In. I mean, listen. Don't base it off the go-home show. It should be a fun show on Saturday. Lucas, I did get your super chat yesterday. I don't know why you were blocked on Twitter, but if you can send me your @ I will unblock you. Please. Thank you, brother, for the $5. Michelle with a 2. Mox retaining will be a bad start to the weekend. Hopefully he doesn't. Hooligan with a 54 months as he has a Mercedes Hogan avatar. 54 months is more like it. God be with us. About to take on All Pro Wrestling this weekend. OTS for life. Thank you, brother. Stay hydrated, man. Or caffeinated, whichever. I know I'll be super caffeinated. Kratos with 56 months using a Star Wars convo. Shad, Tony's dad. How's creative for Dynamite going, son? TK says, same as always. Shad says, that bad, huh? That's AEW 2025 creative, but it's the best ever, bro. It's the greatest year ever.
Tony should say, how do I know? How the Jaguars doing?
I know. Thank you, brother. Jay Barker with a new recommitment to the venue. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Sidro with a $5 super chat. Invented game called Silent Tennis. It's like tennis, but without the racket. I get it. Without the racket. Okay.
I feel like that's a rehash, bro.
No, I never seen that one.
Really?
And imagine a woman pirate gets replaced. A woman pirate gets replacement boob job. That'd suck, wouldn't it? Or wouldn't it? See, I fucked it up.
Wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it? Yes.
Oh my god.
Replacement boob job that suck. Wouldn't it? Yes. Thank you, Sidro. You still listen, bro. The romaine lettuce joke, man. I watched the clip that you sent me and Jason. I still laughed even this morning watching it back. It's just a quality joke, bro. Quality joke there.
We'll get you there, Sidro. We'll get you there.
Willie, what's up, brother? Billy Bomb, 35 months. Gabe Kidd showed maybe we see Eddie Kingston on Saturday at All In. Yeah. I think he shows up anyway. Sidro with a 5. When it comes to booking and being the best, want to know why TK has big shoes to fill in the wrestling industry? Because he's a clown. Yes, man. That one's a little bit too logical, man. That's a truthful joke. Hashtag Tony Clown. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Best in the world, Matt. $5 super chat. He says, wasn't on board with Jesse's take on Tony Storm winning, but these past 2 weeks he sold me. Team Jesse on this one all the way. Look at that. All right.
Look, man. We are all hoping. Okay. We are all I think we're all on board. I think we can all agree. Everyone, absolutely everyone, wants Tony to win.
Yeah.
Well, only thing we're debating was who was actually going to win.
Yeah. Mr. Team Bringer with a 199. Was Jeff Hardy more famous than Obama in 2008? No.
What? Who compares a fictional wrestling character to the president of the United States?
It was close, but no.
It's close. You know,
Maybe
wrestling is a very small niche.
Maybe
of fans, right?
with the female demographic, bro. Maybe.
Again, wrestling fans have a very small niche in the grand scheme of the world.
I don't see people dressing as Obama, bro. They came to shows wearing the cut-off sleeves and the ripped jeans and the fucking dye in the hair, bro, with Jeff Hardy.
Wrestling shows.
I know.
Small niche.
I know. Best in the world, Matt, with a $5 super chat. Think about it. TK offered Jade Cargill everything she wanted and more, and she still went to WWE. Mercedes is breaking that record. I wouldn't be surprised, bro.
We don't know. Was it reported what she was offered? I mean,
he offered her a deal, and she took the WWE deal.
Yeah, I mean, he offered her a deal, but everything in the world.
Queen Laquifa with the $2 super chat. Smell it. Your queen is here. Mercedes Phony or Phone stinks. Yeah, Phone. Yeah, stinks. Thank you, Queen Laquifa. Justin with a 199. Gabe owners for life. Yeah. Yeah, we love a couple of Gabe owners here in the chat. Yeah.
I don't get it.
You don't get Gabe owners?
Gabe Stevens?
Gabe owners. Gabe owners.
Oh. Okay, sorry. I'm not in your community.
Vili, thank you, brother. Robert Hurt with a 52 months. The rumors are out there that Britt Baker's coming to WWE. If it's true, who would you like to see her first opponent be? You rock. Are there rumors? I didn't hear anything outside of what we talked about, brother.
Yeah, me either.
Best in the world, Matt, with a $10 super chat. Hey, Tony, how long do the Jaguars keep NFL players on their roster that they aren't using? I would like an answer to that, please.
Wait. That's not fair. That guy donated a super chat. We need to answer his question. Go back.
52 months? Britt Baker?
Yeah.
Who do I like? Who do I want to see her first opponent be?
Yep.
Alexa Bliss.
Really?
That's just a guess.
Wait, is she out?
Alexa's teaming with Charlotte on Sunday.
Oh, there we go. I want to see Charlotte.
I think Britt would kill it in NXT, honestly.
I don't know where they would put Britt. You know, she would probably benefit from NXT for a little bit. But I don't know where they would put her. Name value seems to be it's bigger than NXT. But I could see her benefiting from a stint in NXT though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. Best in the world, Matt. Thank you, brother. Survivor 1993 with 3 months. I was fired from my job at the bank. A lady asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her over.
Okay, I like that one.
It's witty.
Is that Sidro?
No, Survivor.
See? Good. We got a new comedian in the house. Sidro, step up your game.
Anthony with a $20 super chat. What's up, guys? Who debuts or returns in the women's casino gauntlet? I could see potentially Britt being in there, being that she's been talked about. I'm predicting Isla Dawn to show up, being that the rumor was that AEW is very interested in her. Jamie Hayter, I feel like, is going to show up. I think they're keeping her return quiet. It's a possibility. Outside that, I don't really foresee anybody else.
I think Jamie Hayter is a strong possibility.
Yeah.
I don't know if we get Britt, man. I don't think she's stepping foot on AEW television anymore.
All right, we'll see. Justin with the phone right now. All I know, that guy who books this shit is Gabe Owners. Okay.
We just revisit the same joke.
Havili with a 10. Jesse, if Michael Jordan didn't retire, would the Bulls have won 8 straight NBA championships?
100%.
All right, there you go, Havili.
They almost won without him. They got damn close. One year they got so close It was a botched referee call that stopped him from getting to the finals. They almost did it without him. So absolutely, they would have won 8 straight.
To go back to that last one about the women's gauntlet match, Athena and Thunder Rosa will be in that match as well. Flash, thank you for the $100 super chat, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you for the huge bomb earlier. Joey Taylor with a 5. Of course, some of the wrestlers have creative control. Why do you think Moxley and Copeland did not want to put each other over? Yes. That's another one, Joey. Thank you, brother. That one just completely got swept under the rug by Sean Ross, Sapp, and John Alba, and everybody else. What happened?
That was the thing. They didn't want to put each other over.
Yeah, they didn't want to lose. Yeah.
I don't know how, but that's a thing. Why don't the person in charge tell them who's going to lose?
I don't know. He didn't. The Lore Maestro with a $10 super chat. Triple H had some level of creative control. Yeah, sure. He was the fucking son-in-law of the boss.
Yeah. You banging the boss's daughter. You got all the control you need.
He's controlling something, man. I'll tell you that.
Jeez.
Michael Krause with it, too. Jesse, their life sucks. You are doing great.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Marvin Malitz with a $31 super chat. Hey, JD, Jesse, thank you for the stream tonight. Appreciate your hard work. What did you guys think of Cody Rhodes' AEW run? I wish he could have done more. I think AEW would have been in a better place if he stayed. They would have been, because he would have been the glue to hold everybody together. I don't think Punk would have left, genuinely. And I honestly think that him not challenging for the World Championship and making that stupid stipulation kind of fucked him up.
Yeah, that stipulation was
yeah,
really
it was stupid.
And I'm not gonna lie. It's late at night, and I'm not in the mood to just be saying things just to piss off the Punk stands. But I'm not gonna lie here, man. I think if Cody would have stayed, I think creative would have been better.
Yeah.
In AEW. But honestly, I feel like at some point Punk was a ticking time bomb to just go off.
Yeah.
If it wasn't this incident, I feel like something else would have come up down the road. I don't feel like he changed his ways until now. Now he's back in WWE when there's nowhere else for him to go. I think now he has changed his ways, and this is just my humble opinion, I swear. I feel like at some point something would have I look at the Eddie Kingston promo against Punk in the ring. There was just animosity.
Yeah.
There was just animosity about him coming in. You know what Eddie Kingston said, no one wanted you here. Something would have happened.
Yeah.
Something would have fucking happened. If the whole thing with the Bucks never would have happened, something else would have happened at some point. We just don't know what it was. It was just destined to not fucking work out.
Thank you, Marvin. Appreciate you, brother. Havili with a 5. Who is your dream Atlanta Braves team? Thoughts on Jeff Jarrett saying that X-Pac deserves a solo induction to the Hall of Fame? Do you agree? I do. I do think X-Pac belongs in the Hall of Fame. And my dream Atlanta Braves team is the 1996 team. I thought that team was unstoppable and the best pitching staff maybe ever, and they blew it.
Wait,
they fucking blew it. X-Pac deserves a Hall of Fame solo induction.
Really? For what?
I think for what?
Best work was in DX.
I do. Yeah, I think all of them deserve an induction. Yeah, sure.
I mean, in
everyone,
DX, yeah.
everyone's gonna get inducted.
Everyone,
yeah. Dr. Scorpio with a 5. Showing some love to you both. Looking forward to the reviews from both of y'all and Solomon Safarola. And thank you, Dr. Scorpio. We will be here, man. Nick Mills with a $4.99. I've said some dumb shit when AEW first started on X to the point where JD blocked me. Still a fan, waiting for that unblock. It's been 5 years. Love you, JD. Nick, you got to reach out to me on Instagram, bro. Leave me your Twitter or your Twitter handle, and I'll get you unblocked tonight. Same thing with Lucas.
Or just tag me.
Yeah.
Just tag me, and then he can see it.
Yeah.
And unblock you.
Devil Jinx for 3 months. Always happy to watch your stream, JD. Really enjoy the conversation with you and Solo and Jesse. Andale, arriba. Thank you, brother. El Ononico. Showing up on Saturday, bro. You got to be here. Bodie McBoatface with a 5. Brody King is all over the luchadors because he's trying to get a push by proximity off the Beast Mortos. Speaking of creative control, hashtag Mercedes. Yes. That's another one we didn't mention. She's got so much influence that her fucking boyfriend is now 4 weeks in a row wrestling top 2 talent. And he won a match.
I don't know. I really do believe or want to believe that's just TK trying to just get some cool points to her. I mean, he's the boss. Why is he trying to suck up to her?
I don't know.
By booking her boyfriend in the main events and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, otherwise it's her saying, okay, I'm dating Mortos now. Now I want him in the main event.
I don't know. It's fucking weird. Jose with the 499. Hey guys, didn't see AW, just in for support for my guy Jesse. Person who uttered shitty comments should take a header from the Sears Tower. OTS for life. Thank you, Jose.
Thank you. I don't know what's wrong with that. That person is just a representative of what social media is these days. Have you noticed that people just can't give their opinions? They have to sandwich their opinions with insults.
Yeah.
You're just an idiot because such and such, such and such, such and such, such and such, such and such. But you would know that if you were not such a fucking idiot. Like, why do you have to put insults in with your comments? Just leave your fucking comments. I don't understand social media these days, bro.
I don't know. I've been blocking and hiding comments and just getting them away from me, man. That's all. I've barely interacted with the haters. Normally, you know, it's just like, let me fucking just rip this guy. But, you know, the more I do it, the less people even care. They don't care. Just move on. You know, just get rid of it.
Bro, I'm just closing the app. It is just not worth it.
Yeah.
I would rather find a human interaction somewhere else. And I've been in this house alone for a week.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, man.
Uncle Dave, what happened to the Jose, the assistant interview? Jose had something come up, and I did not want to intrude on him potentially landing a job somewhere. Just to give you an idea of what was going on there. It's still open. If he wants it, he knows I'll do it. I told him I'd even fly to Florida for it. I'd fly him up to Philly and bring him to the AC apartment in Atlantic City and do it there because there's a great spot that we could do it there. It's up to him if he wants to do it. Action Waffle with a 2. Score update. Jesse 1, Mosquito 0.
It was a fly. Oh, man. I had a fucking heel fly in my office during my stream, man. I had to literally bring out my fly swatter to kill it. Killed it live on stream, bro.
Nice. It's the best way to go, man. Fuck him.
Here's right here. Electric. Fried it.
Lavelle with a 5. What match will steal the show at All In? Probably Omega Okada. And by the way, JD, you, Jesse, Jason, are the best in the business. The haters are a waste of life. I agree.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, there's so many streamers that I personally don't enjoy. I don't like their views. I don't like their content. I don't like their platform. So I just don't watch them. You know what I don't do? Is go around watching them and then go to their Twitter and then calling them names. Just don't watch. Why does it take all of that to make you just a horrible fucking human being because you don't like what someone has to say?
Because they're fans, bro. At the end of the day, they're fucking fans. They're all fans.
Really
Action Waffle, thank you. Lavelle, thank you. Richie V with a 499. I watched the Vince Russo Creative Control promo that he cut at Bash at the Beach, and it was a catastrophe. I pray AW doesn't go down like that. I hope it's not that bad, but Rusty Wagner with a 44 months. Thank you, men. The best live coverage. Appreciate you, Rusty. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lucas with the 499. JD, if you can, let me chat in the chat and I will send it. I just got your message now, brother. You're going to be unbenched tonight. Sidro with a 5. Me. I am here to ask for your daughter's hand. Her dad. Why? Because I'm tired of using mine.
Ooh, I like that one. But I like it, but I don't like it because I have a 15-year-old boy.
Yeah.
But I like it.
All right.
That was a good one, man. What do you mean?
It was all right. It was all right.
It was good.
Lucas, I got your message, brother. Thank you. Animal with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Animal. Much love to you both. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. And Jim Hardy with a 2. Alley Catch could go to WWF and be Sonny's daughter. Sonny. You mean Tammy Sitch locked up right now for a hit and run where she killed somebody while drunk?
They would bring somebody in and highlight Sonny.
No, come on now. All right, guys.
Bring light to sunny?
No, I mean, that's it. Goodbye. Thank you guys for a great stream. I appreciate you guys very, very much. You guys killed it tonight. On a week where, or many weeks, where AEW is just ice cold, man. You guys continue to bring the heat. We had over 2,400 people in here tonight. 1,000 likes. We got Collision Corner done. You guys are great.
Shout out again to David Rice and Jonas Tiger for showing tremendous support over on my channel during my live stream tonight.
Thank you guys very much, man. Jesse and I will be back with you on Saturday for All In coverage. He's going to be live streaming his reactions during the show, and then he's going to join me for a in-depth discussion on the post show right here on OTS. That's Saturday. It's going to be a busy week. I'll be watching that. Saturday night's main event. We got Evolution. It's going to be a busy weekend, guys. I appreciate you for hanging in there with us. Follow us on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Jesse's at Shottown Smark, and his YouTube is linked down below in the description. And go check out all the great streams so far this week on the channel. Anything you guys need to get caught up on, especially last night's TNT. A deep dive into all the shows and the best preview and predictions you're going to find anywhere this week. Last night at episode 102. Until I see you guys back on Friday, we'll be here for Friday Night SmackDown. And then Saturday's the big day, All In right here on Off the Script. Until then, guys, have a great Thursday. And I will see you back here Friday on Off the Script or SmackDown. See you guys later.